You know what movie I've never seen, and this might be an issue? Avatar. I had to remember the name.
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
Good movie.
Good,
Good for what it is.
Which one? The Blue Guys one?
Yeah.
I haven't seen
I'm all
it.
set.
I'm good.
Smurfs in space. I'm good. Are we recording? I feel like I'm talking
We
like
are.
we're recording.
Yeah.
All right. What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 3 of the Limiter Podcast. I am your host, Jake, and my co-host and also host.
Hi, I'm Ryan. Also shareholder from Limiter and driver and friends with Jake.
Hell yeah. Behind the camera, we have Brian. Brian's actually got a mic now, so you can say hi if you want.
Hi.
There's Brian. And we have a very special guest today. Coming to the stage, a good friend, a good dude, Devon Gagnon.
Hello. Hello, gang.
So this will be a good episode because Devon's actually podcasted a bunch before, so it should be pretty smooth and natural for him. Now we just need to get smooth and natural, so we'll get there. But anyway, how was you guys' day?
Dude, my day was sick. I had a pretty good day. I went to the gym. I did legs. I'm struggling to walk a little bit.
Good thing we're sitting.
Yeah, thank God. But yeah, my Pistons came in. We talked about this briefly earlier. Pistons finally came in. 3-month wait. Pretty sick.
Yep. But they're here.
They're here. Yeah, they're in one. Well, yeah, they're in one piece. There's many pieces in there, but the Pistons themselves, one piece each.
What are they for?
They're for the green car over there, which is a E36 sedan. So it's going to be another M50 turbo build. So hopefully, yeah, now that those are in, it can be a full steam ahead winter project.
Drift car, stance car, drive car, fun car?
Largely, I think I'm just going to make it a street car. I was telling Ryan about this earlier, but I want to make it a like middle-aged man Corvette driver heartbreaker type of thing.
Heck yeah.
So I just want to keep it pretty stock looking for the most part and have it rip.
I like it. I love it. How was your day?
My day was great. I spent my whole day here, which was excellent. Some days I work here from the Limiter headquarters, if you will. And got to hang out with you guys all day. Worked on my car and worked on my computer and stuff. It was a good day, man. Beautiful too.
Yeah.
It's nice to have some sun finally.
The warmth is nice. I woke up this morning, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
humidity.
Yeah.
Didn't miss it, but whatever. So the shop's a little warm today, so I might be sweating. My day sucked. I mean, I did get to hang out with you guys, but it felt like everything went wrong. Between the livery, between the printing, between FedEx not showing up. Hey, we made it work. Every positive vibes. We're here. We're having a good time. Mm-hmm. That's all that matters.
Keep moving.
They can't all be great days, but if you can make them as good as you can, then
No, so we're good now. We're back. Vibes are up. This episode is actually brought to you by Swivel Mount. We've been doing some pretty cool things behind the scenes. We have a swivel mount on the table. We got the banners up. Give them a follow. Troy and Marissa are awesome. Not Marissa. What's her name? Is it Marissa?
I don't know. I've never really formally met her.
I'm so sorry. We're friends on Facebook, and I totally just dropped the ball on that one. But Troy, we love you. We love your wife. We love your kid. Everything's great. Come back to the area. Stop moving to Pittsburgh or wherever it was, because now we never get to see Troy, but that's okay. Also, Devon's the cool part about Devon is he drifts and he does media, so we're going to dip into that a little bit. We got a ton of viewer questions, and yeah, so let's just start with the normals. How'd you get into cars?
So, growing up, my father had a motocross track, which if you're local to the area and you've driven by the soon-to-be Drift New England grounds, you've seen the motocross track. It's right across the street.
Oh, that was his?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
My dad built that when I was like 2. There's great photos of us where I'm like swaddled up in like a thing and he's like out like landscaping, doing stuff. It's really cool. So from a super young age, I've always been around motors, up until recently anyway. But when I was younger, it was dirt bikes for the most part. So I started on a bike when I was probably like 4 or 5. Rode bikes up until I was like 16, 17. Had a street bike for a while. What's up, Brad Dog? 6 selfie, bro. And had a street bike when I was like probably 20-ish, which is like the worst time to have a street bike because I was a wicked shithead the whole time I had it. A lot of fun, but what kind of sparked as far as like the drifting world, I have to directly attribute Need for Speed Underground. That was my first dip into drifting, and I was like, what is going, because you have like a Honda Civic, which is front wheel drive, and you have to do like a drift comp in it, and I had no idea what was going on. It was just like, go sideways, get points.
Rip
And I was
that
like,
e-brake.
yeah, I was like, this is kind of cool. But like growing up in like, it was probably like high school era when it started to be a lot more of like a thing I wanted to get into, because that's when I started seeing like the Ken Block, like Gymkhana videos and things like that, where it was like, oh, this is like a thing people do for real, like it's sick. So fast forward probably 2019-ish is when I started seriously considering getting involved, and I went to my first event at Loudon when it was not Nedco. I think it was still Club Loose North. And it was cool to see that we had something so local. So the following year, I'd planned on getting involved with just media, because it's a thing I had been doing for a couple of years. I did a lot of weddings and stuff like that, and just wanted to get out of weddings. So cars seemed like the next hurdle for me to jump over. So had planned on just doing media, and over the winter, the blue vert I have now had popped up from sale, who is now a pretty decent friend of mine, Dre. But he had it up for a wicked good price, so I ended up buying that, and then that whole winter I worked on it with Dan King, and here we are now.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was honestly like I've tried to like keep the same Dan King mentality as far as being like welcoming in the community, because like had he not stepped in, been like, yeah, bring this shit box to my house and let's work on it and let's get you driving, like I wouldn't be here. I probably wouldn't know you guys. I wouldn't be in the shop. So I think that's an important thing that a lot of people that are involved in the drift community should do a little bit more of, is just work. Like, not that people aren't welcoming. I think for the most part people are, but I think it's important for everyone to kind of take a step back and just, you know, a lot of people want to get into it. So just maybe not like pave the way for them, but help them get involved where you can.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I'm guessing Dan kind of got you into it. Who was your first ride along with?
It was also with Dan.
With Dan?
And I hadn't done a ride along until after. Oh, this bug is going to drive me. But I had started driving before I did my first ride along.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, it seems backwards. But we did an event, or it wasn't an event. It was more of like I think it was like a test day or something. It was at what's that track that's kind of up north that doesn't do drifting? Canaan.
I live right down the road from it. Yep.
So we went to Canaan because I think they were trying to see, they were testing like noise levels or something to see if drifting was a possibility there. And Dan was there, and he's like, have you come in my car yet? And I was like, I haven't been in any car yet. And he's like, you need to get in this car. And it's a lot less nerve-wracking when you're in control of the vehicle. Mm-hmm. My first ride along was fucking, sorry for swearing, horrifying. Because I was like, oh, he's a good driver. It'll be fine. Like, this, that, the other thing. We get through like 2 turns, and then he hucks it into the dirt, which is like, for me, I'm like, oh, we're not going to go off. Everything's going to be fine. Off track, probably like 20, 30 feet, like just like burning through this like dusty, grassy knoll. And he's like, oh, we're good. It's fine. I was like, sure, man. Sounds good to me. But it was definitely an experience because like I was new. I kind of sucked at driving for a while there. So it was definitely interesting to get in someone who like knows what they're doing. So.
Yeah. And in that, you know, with your first ride along, and to talk about, I guess, because I feel the same way. Dan was one of the first persons that ever threw me in a car. And to ride with somebody after having driven, I always kind of, you know, it's like playing a video game, right? And like you do it, and then you're trying this one spot, and then your buddy does it, and you're like, oh, that's how it's done. And it all just clicks after that, you know, or you ride along with somebody and you see their style and you go, oh, maybe I should try it that way and pick something up off of it. So it's kind of cool to see that, you know, you drove first and then did a ride along.
I think I definitely agree with your point as far as going for a ride with someone who's like, if you're doing a layout and you're like not quite getting it for a certain section, it's definitely nice to go for a ride and see like, all right, what's so-and-so doing? Like, well, how am I botching this and how are they doing it right?
Yeah.
But I think the same thing can be said about like just driving with those people as well. Sure. A lot of times, like if I'm sucking at a layout and I see someone screaming, like I'm trying to do laps with them. Like mm-hmm. I want to see where they're going, see how I can get better at that spot, it's a pretty cool thing as far as like, I would say like any motorsport, but especially drifting where it is like so style based. Cause once you figure out how to get there, then you can kind of do whatever's more natural for you while you're there and mm-hmm. still achieve the same thing.
Yeah. And unlike a lot of motorsports, I'll say drifting, you have the opportunity to do that. Flag somebody down in a race. Obviously, everybody wants to be with the lead guy, so you got to fight just to get next to that guy. Drifting, you're all hanging out in grid, whatever. Somebody drives by, hey, do you mind if I chase you? Whatever. It's kind of a cool community, and definitely I like what you said, Dan. Big points to you, buddy. I like the welcoming attitude. I love the all-inclusive, and when somebody starts out, it's a very intimidating thing. You're driving way beyond your skill level to begin with. So,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, definitely agree.
I love that.
I like Dan. He was very welcoming to me as well. Like, I never rode along, drove or anything, but I mean, he dropped everything to come help me dig out my 350Z. I mean, we knew each other, but like, they were there before me. 4 a.m, 5 a.m. Snowbanks taller than us. And they're just so I could get into a car, and I let them down. But
Not really. No, you're just not driving right now. That's all. You got every other aspect of drifting in your life.
yeah. Shane was with them too. Shane and DK showed up, and literally I was like, I'll be the first one there because that's how I am. I'm early. Nope, they were there an hour before me and
can't
almost
beat
had
Shane.
it. No, Shane. When Shane's got his eye on something,
That's it.
he's there. So you touched on media for a minute there. So how did you start getting into the whole media world?
Kind of like I mentioned, I did go to Club Loose North. Didn't do media. Me and one of my buddies just went to like kind of go scope it out and see what was going on. So the intent was, until I had gotten the car, the intent was to just do media. And I had noticed, because I joined the Nedco group at this point, and there was just a very clear gap in coverage for C group, for like obvious reasons. Like, sorry, C group people, but like, you're still learning. It's not that fun to shoot, and like, you like, you're doing what you can and stuff like that, and it is what it is. But I could see that there was definitely, like, if I was in C group, like, I want coverage, you know what I mean? So originally the whole plan was to kind of do like, not a documentary type of thing, but to follow just specific C group drivers for like the length of the season and kind of follow their progression.
Oh, yeah.
So I had done some video and photo stuff with maybe 2 or 3 folks prior to the season starting. It was still not quite winter, but it was still kind of crappy out. Just with the intent of like, here are these people, like introducing them via video, photo, this, that, the other thing, and then filming them as they went on, so that hopefully by the end of the year, you're either getting bumped or you're, showing progress, this, that, the other thing. But what happened was not that, because I started driving and kind of all that went out the door, because it's a lot to manage just doing media, never mind also having to worry about changing tires, fixing the car, this, that, the other thing. So media for my first year was basically just run and gun the entire day. My girlfriend, Sarah, gives me crap all the time, anytime I'm at the track, even if I'm not doing media, for going on what we lovingly call the Nedco diet, which is when I don't eat the whole day because I'm busy. And then I eat a lot at like 10 p.m. and fall asleep and snore in the tent. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
So
You do
that's
what you do to get through the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's where the roots of my media involvement came in. But since then, this year's been kind of a weird one. And even last year, I've been kind of a little out of touch on the media side of things, just because like my work schedule lately is very odd and not good. It's difficult to be able to even drive the events, never mind having the capability of doing media as well. So
Right.
it's something I'm trying to get back into the swing of things with. But there's definitely been kind of a lull in that aspect of it for sure.
I'm excited to see you pick the camera back up. You always put out amazing stuff. Pre-driving, though, what made you decide picking up a camera was a cool thing for you?
That probably stems, so I was in bands for a long time, and I had a good friend of mine growing up. His name was Christian, who used to come to shows pretty often, and he was never involved in creating music, but he was very involved in photographing music, and him and I were pretty decent friends when I was in bands and stuff like that, and I'd always been interested in photography and cameras and the like. So I had contacted him and been like, hey, I have X amount of money, like what's a decent starter kit for me to get? And he was like, you should get a Canon 5D Mark II and a 50 1.4. And I did. So from there, it was more or less, so like when I was that age, like top dog in like photo, video, etc. world for me was like weddings, because like it's high pressure. This like stakes are higher, and like as far as like income coming from it, it's kind of like the best it gets. So I got really focused on doing weddings and things like that. And after a couple of years of doing like pretty aggressive part-time weddings, I had paid off like all my newer camera gear at this point, and I was like wicked burnt out on weddings because like the money's good and it can be fun shooting them, but it is very stressful. So I wanted to get away from weddings, and I still don't, like, to this day I barely do them. I do them here and there for like friends of friends, stuff like that. But yeah, that's where that all stemmed from. Definitely from, I would say, music was my first like media outlet.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You know, and it kind of, I don't want to say like it shows, but it kind of shows like in your style, right? You have a similar style in the way that you shoot, and the way that you do your cars and the way that you drive, you know? So it's like, you can tell you're a guy that you're attached to like the feeling of stuff. You know, we talked about your exhaust. I followed you one day home from from IFO, I think it was. And I said, man, your car sounds really good. And for BMW, you know, no offense, BMW guys, but that means a lot because not a lot of BMWs sound great.
No, us BMW folks have a bit of a reputation when it comes to exhaust notes. So I get that.
Yep. But you know, you went into detail about how much time you took to make your car sound the way that you wanted to, you know, and that's such a big part, I think, of, you know, it shows in your, like I said, in the way that you shoot photos, the way that you drive, the way you do your car, all kind of is the same. It's a little bit more in touch with what's going on in the moment, raw, very feeling oriented. Does that make sense?
Yep. I think that's, in my opinion, something more people should try to strive to do, is make, like for drift cars specifically, like there are so many just like cookie cutter, like, oh, I found this guy's build and I just did the same thing. And like, that's fine. Like it gets you to the same end result. But I think
talking about SR20 built S14s or something.
I don't have any. Actually, a lot of people hate on the SR20. It's a fine motor. I'm not going to say it's the best motor. It's fine. But a lot of people just do the same thing over and over. And again, that's fine. It gets your car to where you want your car to be. But like, why not take a little extra time and put like a little personality into it? I'm huge into making your vehicle or whatever, your driving style, whatever it may be, like just have a little more personality. Make it you.
Yeah.
You're not trying to be, you know, Ryan Turk, or you're not trying to be whoever. Like it's your car. You're driving it. Like make it however you want to make it.
I love that. That's great. And Jake, you know, that's very obvious with you too. You know, it's, you are who you are and you make no excuses about it.
Yeah, I'm out of the box. I like bright. I like flashy. That's who I am. If you don't like it, sorry.
Yeah, then I'm not for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's one thing. Stop hating on other people's shit, even if it's crap.
Yeah.
Who gives a... Like, it's not yours. You don't have to go home. You don't have to see it in your driveway. Leave it alone. Like, don't bitch about it on the internet. This goes for everything and nothing specific. I just see a lot of hate on the internet over dumb shit. Stop.
I had a windshield banner as a teenager, and it said, I had an Audi when I was 16. It was like an Audi 90. Nice car. Nice first car, really.
Yeah.
And the windshield banner said Audacity on it. So, like, you're not always going to be at the best part in your life, okay? Or make the best decisions. So, yeah, I agree. You know, you look at those people and whatever, and we're all from the car background. You're different than I am, and you're different than I am, and you're different than I am, and it's always going to be that way.
Yep.
You know?
And I preach it, but I mean, let's be real. I mean, we've all talked shit. I've talked shit, but I'm trying to not be that guy.
I'm be honest, I kind of like being a hater.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like being a hater.
Yeah,
I think
you can be. But
I have no problem with however anyone wants to do their car. I think it is your car, like you said. Whoever said it.
Yeah.
I'm not waking up to it, but I think some people should be spoken to.
There are some
of
things
their
that
very
are
questionable. Like,
but-
I don't know. Like,
But again, if they love it, like my chassis mount and Lambo doors, people looked at me like I was in.
that shit's kind of sick. Though.
I love that stuff.
Lambo door. It depends
in-
what it's on, but they're
keep me
kind of
in
sick.
2001, and I'll be happy forever.
Yeah.
Actually, or just while I watch wrestling. So the newest pay-per-view came on, and Logan Paul had MGK with him. MGK was wearing baggy denim jeans, like baggy, like I'm talking like
Jinkos.
2000, almost Jinkos.
Oh,
He was wearing
yeah.
a flame button-up silk shirt,
Like Guy Fieri flames?
Yeah, like
Oh,
red
yeah.
backwards ball, a flat brim. I was like, holy shit, that's my style from 2000. That's all I wore.
Yeah.
That was the stupid dragon flame shirts. And I was like, if it's coming back,
That sounds
I'm
like
getting all of them.
that sounds like me at my first 7th grade dance.
Yeah. Well, I was, so you were what, 7th grade, 13? So I was 23. So we dressed the same.
I had a sick blue dragon, black shirt, silk.
Yes.
I had fresh pair of Etnies from the Marshall's discount rack.
The big
Power
puffy
move.
toes.
Oh yeah,
The big toughy.
oh yeah,
or whatever they're
the
called.
black shoe, red little thing on the side. I had my jeans, dude. I thought I was hot shit. I was styling.
You thought you were. You were.
I didn't dance with a single person. I was in 7th grade and I was nervous.
Speaking of like music and all that, you, sir, put out or used to put out, from what I found, some incredible ass music.
Thank you, man.
I loved it. I was like, there's no way this is Devon.
It's me. Yeah, a lot of people have that reaction. I do this thing with my life where like if I find a new hobby, I like pretty much just go like full force into it. So like music, I was pretty full force into for a while, and then when like music, like the band that I was in called Hollow Point, the one that you're referring to.
Yes.
The whole reason that ended is because our guitarist ended up moving to like Louisiana. Him and I started it, and it was kind of like a sentimental thing. So we did like a last show, and we're like, all right, that's it. We're not doing this anymore. And so after that, I was like, all right, I'm done with music. I got everything I wanted out of that. And it was fortunately at the same time, like I had just started like getting into the drift stuff, and I had bought the car like, I don't know, maybe like 4 months after. And ever since then, it's just been like, I've transitioned from everything music to like new friend group, new hobby, new everything. All it is drifting now. And most of the drift people have never heard it or even know about it. So it's definitely funny when people are like, that was you? Like, you were in this band? Like, yep, that was me.
So we're if Brian's okay with it, I want to put the link to the Hollow Point video in the description of the thing. Check it out and have your mind blown, because it's insane. It's not Devon. It's not you.
It's me. Yeah, it's me, dude.
It's too good.
Thanks.
You're so good.
Appreciate that, dude.
Yeah.
So Hollow Point, folk music.
Yeah, it was like kind of bluegrass. you know?
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
No, it was
That's awesome.
it was certainly a metal band. We
Yeah.
played for those musically inclined. We played standard tuning is like what you hear on like a standard rock song. We played 2 octaves below that. It's like drop D on 8 strings. It's heavy as balls, honestly, but there's some decent stuff.
Have you heard it?
No, not.
It's
I will now.
So good.
Yeah.
So
That's-
good.
We'll have to play one for you. Off
When
air
I was
or
at the
something.
shop next door, every morning, probably about an hour into the morning, I'd put it on for a solid month and a half.
I'm gonna-
Just one song, and it was sick.
I'm checking it out on the way home.
You got to.
Yeah.
Still on Spotify to this day.
Good. I'm a premium member, so.
Do you get a residual check or whatever they're called? Do you get
Logan
like
might
6 cents?
Logan might get like 10 cents every 2 years, but I'm not getting any of that. yeah.
Wait until this podcast hits.
Numbers up straight through the roof.
Boom.
12 cents.
Yep, you're going to be not getting anything from that. But hey, hell yeah. Nice. So music you're done with then, you think, like for good, or?
I still like dabble. Like I picked up a guitar the other day on a whim, actually, just to like have another hobby that isn't car stuff.
Oh, you never played before?
I played, but like,
Stairway to Heaven. That's about it.
no, I don't even think I could play that, honestly. But for music, when I first started, I played bass. And then after that, I did backup vocals when I played bass. And I was like, well, I could just do the vocals. So I did that. But I had also played drums in another band, but never, like, I dabbled with guitar, but I had never really like had one. So I was like, I know how to play roughly. So I was like, pick up a guitar. Why not?
You get power or not power, whatever. Acoustic or
No,
electric?
No, it's an electric. It's just a little 6-string, just like a standard little guy.
I can see you around a campfire just banging out that acoustic.
Now, my hands are actually not flexible whatsoever. Like, can you do the number 3 like this? I can't do that.
This or this?
This, like 3. Yeah, I'm not exaggerating. Like, this is about as much flex as I have. So, like,
you can never tandem through.
playing, no, I do it like this or like that. I usually do this because it looks like a gun.
Whoa.
Badass.
Bang. Hollow point coming through.
Ooh. So for acoustic, it's tough because it's like largely all chords and you need flexibility to do that. So I've never really been good at acoustic guitar. So I'm sorry to break your heart on that. If we're ever having a fire, I won't be that guy.
Bring a drum set then. I'm down.
Yeah, one of those little seat things that you sit on.
Oh my God.
Those things are pretty sick, actually.
I've always wanted to try that. So I used to play drums, not anything great. We had a cover band for Nirvana. It was,
Sick.
Yeah, it was neat.
What's the name?
Doesn't matter.
What was the name?
Come on.
An Avron.
I don't get the reference, so.
It's Nirvana backwards.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine.
But yeah, drums were fun. I always wanted to try the steel drum, like the Jamaican steel drum thing.
Oh, yeah, with like the little like bulby things on the
it's like
inside. Yeah.
ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, they look fun, right? Like, you ever seen anybody playing that having a bad time?
I was going to make the same point. Every time I see someone playing one of those, huge smile. Yep.
Bongos.
I'm getting it.
all that.
We need them for the shop. Won't be annoying at all.
I've looked into them. I'm pretty sure they're really expensive.
Yeah, they are. Someone has to make it. Like, they're not, and then like imagine you're putting all these dents into a big circle thing and one of them's off.
We know some fabricators.
Yeah, you could probably commission a Jamaican steel drum.
They would very much enjoy building us a drum, I'm sure.
What could go wrong? Yeah.
So we're going to reach out to Eli. So Lucier Motorworks, make us a steel drum. Thank you.
I like it. And if and when we get this steel drum, would you come by and serenade us by playing it?
Yeah, we can make a band even.
Yeah.
Why not? Live a little. Make a band. Have a steel drum in it.
Jamaican themed.
Sure.
So what's the next steps on cars? So you got the blue car going. That's running fine. You're building a motor. What else you got? What's the future in the car world for Devon?
I think it'll probably be pretty full steam ahead now that pistons are in for the green car. Like I had mentioned, that's the intent for that. I one day would like it to be drift capable for like special occasions, but I mostly want that to be a street car. I do have the 5 Series over there, which again, so like I bought the Vert from Dre. I also got the 5 Series from Dre, and I'm at this point thinking I need a frequent buyer card or something because
Punch card?
It's 2 cars. Yeah, like
3 more cars, you get a free car.
yeah, a free or like
that what
10%
it is?
discount. Or,
Yeah, you buy 5 cars off somebody, they have to give you a 6 for free.
I like that idea.
got to get a lawyer.
Yeah, so
But-
Dre, make that happen.
So I think the 5 Series will end up. It's just a huge boat. It's an '89 E34 for those of you who like BMWs. But I think the plan with that one is to just leave it as not as stock as possible. But I'll probably just lower it a little bit. Probably have it wrapped by someone in the room who does car wraps. And then just have that be a fun cruiser car.
Yeah.
And then
It's good looking. It'll be cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be a sweet, just like kind of low, tasteful, not beating on it, just a nice, clean, easy car. The green one I want to be terrifying, but look not terrifying. And the blue one that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, that's all reliable though.
I love that car. I was never a big vert guy until that, and that thing is,
I hate verts. I hate them.
you got to come for a ride in that thing. You're going to love that car.
I love it.
It's so much fun. It looks like a weird truck. I do love it though. It's a great little car.
I've always loved that idea, though, of like drifting and you're outside, so proximity is so much more exciting for you because, for your passenger, wherever they're looking, it's right there.
You can see everything.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
just thought of that. That's wild.
and feel.
It's nice being able to see, and it's also nice because you can hear behind you, even in a helmet. So like, I can tell if someone's like super on my door, whereas like if you have doors and windows and stuff in the way, like you probably know, but not like that. That thing is I think the only negative as far as having the vert would be you need to pay more as far as cage goes because a lot of places require at minimum like a roll bar type situation for verts. And B, the tops they will leak pretty bad. That one leaks. I try my best to not put the top up, but sometimes you got to do it.
You have some cold rides.
Oh yeah, it's freezing.
I see them at going to Cars and Coffees at like 7, 6 in the morning, and I'm cold, and I don't get cold. I'm like, that's not going to be fun.
Yeah, the weather is definitely like probably the biggest downside of a vert for sure. Because like, and also like if you're on grid, and grid is busy, you just bake in
Yeah.
the sun. You're just
Yeah.
sitting there cooking. Super sick while you're driving because like you're getting air from every direction. You don't even know where it's coming from. But when you're waiting, you're just sitting there smoldering, and that's not dope at all.
Is that the car you started in? Mm-hmm. Okay, so A group probably way better than like C group
Yeah.
days, right? When back in the day when you're sitting on grid
Dude.
for 10 minutes.
My whole first year I drove that car, I didn't put the top down once. I put a brand new top on it, and I was like, "Nah, I'm good." But like, I didn't. I know I did have a roll bar. I got a roll bar, so I could have had the top down. I just didn't. I don't know why. If you have a vert, pay to get the roll bar and put your top down. Would be my advice. But yeah, A group versus C or B group even. It's night and day. C group, you get like 5 laps at the track we were going to, and like you just sit there and cook the whole time. Putting on sunblock and driving kind of sucks. You get like little bits stuck to you, and it's not.
slippery too.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yep.
That's why you need good limiter gloves.
Yes.
Yeah, my hands would be spotless, but the rest of me, I look like a greased up hog.
Oh man, I'm
I know.
excited. So we have a full box of viewer questions that we can bang into. You want to start?
Sure.
Yeah, let's dive into this bad boy. I do like your guys' little. It's like a little treasure chest.
It is. We got something. Brian came up with a wicked cool idea. We're not going to reveal it. It's just going to show up. And for asking the random questions, now he remembers.
I think I know what it is based on your hand movement just now.
I'm fishing. I'm going to fish for questions.
I thought it was like one of those bingo things.
Damn it, he's so smart.
Is that what it? You can.
Fishing rod.
What?
We're gonna fish the questions.
Yeah.
To you.
You gonna put magnets on it?
Yeah. Oh, you got to be quicker than that.
Yep.
Don't do that. Don't. Well, it's not gonna happen to me.
Either one of the clipped ones is fine.
I'll hand them over, dude. I won't look.
Don't look.
Don't be like Jerry. All right.
These are pretty cool. I'm not looking, but these are pretty cool. I like your. It's very official.
That's what we're going for.
It's a very professional thing here.
We're rated the number 58th podcast
Number
in New Hampshire.
Number 1 in Franklin, New Hampshire, baby.
Oh, we actually
for
might be.
sure, yeah.
I like that stat. We're number 1 in
That's-
Franklin, baby.
You have to put like number 1 in New Hampshire with a little asterisk and then below like Franklin. New
In
Hampshire.
Franklin, pulled by
Pulled by the room at New School.
shop.
Yeah.
our former guests.
Yeah.
Oh man. Rock, paper, scissors. Who goes first?
Now you first. I got to take a sip.
So do I.
Sip away.
All right. So this question, should we do it different, where we just ask the question and then say who wrote it? I think we're going to do that.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. So what's it like having the coolest vert and drifting? Jenny doesn't count because she's a boat. I love that
fair.
boat. That boat's
That's true.
The boat is pretty fun. It's also a BMW.
It is. Isn't it an E46?
Yep.
Yep.
I think. I'm pretty sure.
I think it's a 4-door E46. Maybe.
I'm pretty sure. It's definitely a BMW. It's pretty sick. I mean, we just talked about the vert, so good transition, whoever did this one. But I do love that little car. Like I said, I was never big into verts. It was just more or less like a really good deal. And I had seen it as like a foot in the door because like prior to getting into BMWs, I was kind of like most people where I was like, oh, I need to get an S13 immediately. But after a year or two driving it, like I don't really feel the need to buy a Nissan at this point. So
Have you driven an S13?
no, I've
That's
never
why.
I've never driven any other person's drift car.
Really?
Yeah, not one.
So you've only driven that car? Mm-hmm. Damn.
But it is a great car. They're that year, pretty much anything like, in my opinion, like 2003-ish, like E46 and prior, all pretty easy to work on. Parts aren't ungodly expensive, and M50, M52, M54 engines are all wildly reliable. So they're great cars. I am pretty proud of that little vert. It's kind of dirty and banged up, but I think it has a lot of personality. I did put a lot of thought into putting everything together and making it how I wanted it to be. So I love the car. It's a great car.
It's a good car. I love that. So here's my little secret. It's not really a secret. I always have hated BMWs. Your car turned me.
Let's go.
I like E36s now. And now anytime I see one, I'm like, ooh, I like that.
I just like E36s because they're like I like boxes.
Me too.
I like box cars and they're kind of boxy. It's a good looking car.
Yep.
It's also, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just say same with E30s. I never liked them, and then Tom's. I just like Tom's grew on me, and your two cars got me into BMWs. What were you gonna say?
They're deceiving.
In what way?
They look larger than they are.
Yeah.
Having owned, an E36 when I first bought it and drove it home, I think maybe the passenger side window switch didn't work, and I
Typical.
I reached over. Yeah, it was BMW electronics. Reached over and put the window down. I think it was, well, for whatever reason, I reached the passenger seat.
Yeah, you went
and
like
I was
this.
like,
Yeah.
it was there. I expected in that car that because they look so much larger than they are, but they're almost like a rear-wheel drive, well-built Civic, if you will.
I could see it.
Light,
I agree.
nimble,
Yep.
small.
I had an STI for a while, which is like, it was a newer one, and those are marketed to be like not a compact, but like they're supposed to be a smaller car. Mm-hmm. Newer ones are kind of boats, but it was always weird coming back from drift events because I'd park the BMW and then go get into the STI, and I'd be like, oh my God, this thing is like a bus. The BMW just feels like a little, just a little guy.
Yeah, and it does everything you ask of it. Any little input magnified times 10.
Yeah, without question.
Yep.
So that question was from Thrashley Gian, but Ashley.
Nice.
And I'm gonna butcher her last name. Greek
Gian Gregorio.
Gian Gregorio. I'm never gonna get it right.
When we started driving on the same team, I was like, I better master this. So I practiced
fair,
for a
yeah.
couple days. Yeah.
She, according to her, that little car is what got her into wanting to drift because they saw it at Dan King's when I was working on it. And she was like, that's cool. BMWs rule. And I was like, yes, you made the right choice.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
They're
Look at
awesome.
you.
Yeah, she's great.
Setting trends.
I wouldn't go that far.
Trendset, so I had a car club. We named it Trendsetters. Oh, it was terrible.
Badass, brother.
You want to join?
Yeah, I'm in, dude. I'm in there.
My handle was Z24 Racer 95 or TZ Prez. Damn.
Rock on, dude.
Wish I never said that out loud, but Ryan, your turn.
I'm Googling it.
It's extra funny because I used to get my hair cut at a place called Trendsetters.
Oof.
How'd I do?
You're on point. It was actually a great place to get my hair cut too. So
You're welcome.
yeah, you set the trend.
This guy does it all.
All right. So next question. How difficult is it to live a normal life being that handsome?
That's really nice. I'm gonna blush. I just see myself as another dude, man.
Yep.
I don't know. This is like such a, I don't know, weird hot seat question. I would defer. I don't think I'm even the handsomest one in this room right now. So
Well,
whoever submitted that, thanks very much. It's very sweet.
That came in
Top
from
4 handsome.
Top 4 handsomest guys in Franklin, New Hampshire at New School Vinyl.
that came in from my little Zenki.
Oh, he's a sweetheart.
he's a handsome man himself.
He is. Yeah, he's kind of a stud, dude.
Did you watch last podcast? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Sure.
Liked it?
Yeah.
We're doing
Yeah, I
all right,
enjoyed it.
guys.
That's a. So I just told you I just finished that one. I had to break it up. It was kind of a long one, but they're a fun group of folks to have, and they've all known each other for a hot minute. So it's always funny to just like put them all in like one tight space and be like, all right, now talk.
Jerry did well. Jerry did very well. Good job, Jerry. We're proud of you because we were worried and you were awesome.
We were only worried you'd be quiet, Jerry. That's all. We weren't worried about you, but
Oh,
Jerry-
yeah, same.
yeah.
Mhm.
Jerry ended up being like,
He was the man.
He came out of his shell and talked, and
Yep.
yeah, Jerry's a funny dude.
And then went right back into his shell after.
I especially liked when he got his finger pinched in the box. I thought
know,
that was
right?
funny.
Well, he deserved it.
I thought it was
because
good.
Don't touch things you're not supposed to touch, Jerry.
He didn't know.
It's true.
He didn't know.
He does now for sure.
So this question is, what would you put into your drifting starter kit?
As far as what?
I don't know. You tell us. This is your question. You're going to start drifting. You already have the car.
Oh, okay.
Now what?
Certainly the noisiest jack you can find. Don't lube the wheels or any of the hydraulics. I want it to creak going up and down, and I want you to drag it across the parking lot at 5:42 in the morning. So that's number one.
Did you see that video off? We talked about it earlier. There's a video. Did you see the video? There's a video from some
Yeah, can
drift
you
page.
Did you see
where
the video?
Somebody goes, 3 a.m. We're meeting at so-and-so's trailer to do the jack walk. And it was literally like 30 people outside this guy's trailer dragging their huge jacks across it. I
Nightmare.
want to say it was Drift Pahoney or whatever it was, but I'm not sure. But it was
So that's a nightmare.
hilarious.
Somebody put it up on the page at Vibes. I don't know if it was successful though. I don't know if they did a jack walk.
I hope they didn't.
3 a.m. next to a dude's clothes. That's awesome. Anyway, keep going. I
That,
apologize.
No, you're good. That's certainly number one. Worst jack you can find. Jack stands to go with it.
Harbor Freight.
I have Harbor Freight ones, and I have Duralast.
Ooh.
They're built to last.
I got them at AutoZone. hand tools, I would say, unless you really trust the folks you're around, or you have a way to lock up your battery powered tools. So like all the fixins as far as that goes. If you're camping, a tent, unless you have a trailer, blow a mattress, all that. Definitely as many tires as you can fit in whatever vehicle you have. Definitely cash, because you're going to break something at the track and you're going to have to buy a part from somebody for sure.
What about
I
car mods? What's your
I
starter pack
thought,
there?
I thought the car was already in our hands at this point.
Well, I mean, if you're jumping into I'm saying you have a car that's stock. Are you just going to try it stock?
I thought the car was out of the question. If we're talking about car stuff, I think you should just keep it as simple as possible.
To start.
Yeah, in general, build the car as you get better. So many people overbuild their cars and just rely on angle kits, and it shows. And that's why you don't progress as fast as you should. So certainly keep it as stock as you can within reason, obviously. If things need refreshing, then do the maintenance, do all that. But for the most part, all you should really, in my opinion, be needing is a decent seat. Make sure you weld your diff or have a decent LSD, and suspension, which like you could argue you don't even really need, but I think it's worth having for sure. And then get out and try it, because you might end up hating it. You might not like it at all. So why overspend?
Right. Why jump in with the most expensive if you're just going to do 3 laps and sell your car?
Yeah.
You didn't jump in with the most expensive. You got a great deal.
Oh, I
It's a
did.
good car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With WiseFab and all that good stuff right out of the
I mean, if you can buy it already put together, then great, all power to you. If you're going to save money by buying something that's pre-built, then I'm not here to stop you, but you might shoot yourself in the foot by not knowing how to react without having an angle or having a
relying
handbrake.
on it.
Yeah. You can tell when people can slide a car that is basically stock, and then you put them in a car that's competent, and you're like, oh my God, this guy's nasty. This is kind of like the from the last episode, like Mike and the Miata. Like, he has certainly outgrown that vehicle, but like, he's a great driver and he beats the hell out of that thing. Like, he makes that car work for him.
And he's proven it by jumping into other chassis. So, yeah, hell yeah.
But I think, the drift starter kit is, I don't know, fairly subjective as far as
where you
non-car
wanna go.
things.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, thinking back, like there used to be this E39. Yeah, it was a 530i. I think it was a blue one. And I would see it at like every Nedco event, or maybe it might even have been Club Loose North Face, but looked completely stock, like dad's going to work. And dude just came out and shredded. And sometimes it was just him in the car. Sometimes it's 4 people, but definitely having the most fun there by far.
Well, especially, you're not hundreds or thousands of dollars into a chassis. You're just out having a good time. And then when you're like, all right, I'm ready to step this up, then it's as easy as breaking out the wallet and spending a few bucks.
Yeah.
Or going on Facebook Marketplace. Love Facebook Marketplace.
It's dangerous. I'm looking for a chair on there right now because I switched chairs again. And we're going to get a new couch for there. And I'm also looking for a nice glass curio for Lego. So if anybody has one, let me know. I mean,
I have to do this
Pretty
thing.
good.
I know you guys say this is a no. I got to push this so I can adjust.
you do you, boo-boo.
Nice.
Make yourself comfy.
Yeah, this
I
is
just
your
have to-
Well, here to
This is
hang.
your podcast. This is our
I just
podcast.
got to sit up a little bit. I didn't think.
We'll all move.
I didn't know if. Yeah, why not?
Sorry, my free dumpster couch hurts your back.
Oh, I didn't want this to make any noise if I didn't have to.
Beautiful.
Trying to be considerate, Jake.
Did you just ask or did I?
That was you.
That was me.
Yep,
So
that was you. I'll go next.
what do you got, handsome?
All right. So, what do you got, handsome? What's your dream car?
That's tough. I like so many cars. I would, even though like just a minute ago I was like, oh, I don't feel the need to have a Nissan. I would love to have an R34, just because of Too Fast, Too Furious. They're cool looking cars, man. So I'd love to have an R34. I would love an E36 M3, or even I would like one of the newer M3s as well because they're pretty sick. But I don't know. I've never been big into like supercars or anything like that because like for me they just don't seem attainable. And once you do have them, they're like so high cost that like even growing up I was like, what's the point in having
No practicality.
this like sick Porsche if like just to change the oil is like 40 steps, and if I take it to a dealership for them to do anything it's going to be $1 million. Like I've just never been into supercars really. It's all just been stuff that like is attainable to a normal person that you can also dump some money and time into and have it be dope. Like I'd love to have like a catfish Camaro for whatever reason. I love the catfish Camaros. They look kind of weird, but like they're cool cars.
I've always liked them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A weird one. I'd love to have a Merkur XR4 Ti. It's like a weird Ford that was made in Germany.
Yeah,
if you're not familiar.
It's like the Escort Cogsworth.
Yeah,
right?
it does look like a Cosworth kind of. Yeah, but they have like a cool bi-wing in the back.
Yep.
They have a T9 transmission that doesn't self-center. Like they're weird and cool. So that's tough. I can't put a definitive answer on like my top like favorite car because there's like just so many cars and I like them for different reasons.
I like
But
that it's not supercar based too.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah.
It's boring. Like there's no, again, like to fall back on like the build your car with personality thing. Like cool, you have a $300,000 car. Where like, why do I give a shit? I don't. Like anytime I go to a Cars and Coffee or a meet and people are like, oh, Lamborghini, I'm like, sick. Who cares? Move on. Like keep it moving. I'm all set.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just to touch on the supercar thing for anybody that's interested, probably not listening to this podcast. But if you are interested, there was an NSX in your shop at one point in time.
Yeah.
And I sat in it. And I will tell you, Honda has it figured out. It was easy to get in and out of. It was like,
fit.
it seemed practical.
I could drive it.
It's the only one I've ever sat in that that's probably a list of 5 supercars. But
It was the new NSX too. Not,
Yes.
If people
Yep.
are, it's not the old.
It was a hybrid.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I do like the older NSXs.
Me too.
I will give them credit. That's a good car. Good vehicle. Honda, you guys nailed that. Or Acura, same thing.
Very raw too. That's a all feedback, very
Yeah.
loud. I've never ridden in one, but everybody I've talked to that has one or whatever, they're like, that's a driver's car.
Yeah.
Hands down. Yep.
I think the only supercar I could make an exception for would be Lexus LFA.
Ooh, those are cool.
Because that's a gnarly car. Those things sound so sick.
You're a sound guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can you not be? You hear one of those and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
great car.
What's your obtainable dream? We probably talked about it, but what's your obtainable dream car?
Still R33 GTR, or I've even moved towards like GTST would be totally fine with me. It's the style of that car, it's the looks, that car to me is like watching videos on Napster back in the day or LimeWire of drifting. I'd see like an R33 in a shot or whatever. It would be featured somewhere in like a best motoring or whatever, and I was always drawn to that, mostly because it's a monster vehicle and they're just super cool.
I think the R33 specifically is underrated.
Agreed.
Because the R32, I think
That's my favorite.
I think the R32 gets an appropriate amount of commotion. R34 obviously had the limelight from Too Fast and all that, so like everybody likes that car. But the R33 is kind of like it's the middle child, figuratively and literally. But a lot of people don't really like think about it, and I think styling wise, they look good. They're sharp.
And one of my favorite vehicles that I ever owned, I had a E39 540i, and I had it for daily driver, and I loved that car. I loved everything about it, but bigger car, it was kind of surprising to me. That thing, it didn't make a ton of power, but it put down all of it, and for the size of it, it was on coilovers and stuff. It handled well.
I had one of those before I got the Vert that I intended on making a drift car, and it was way too rusty.
Yeah,
I bought it for like $600.
that's too bad.
I shouldn't have. I sold it to like a scrapyard or something. I wish I like knew things back then, because like I would have saved the transmission at least, because like I could plop that into that. But missed opportunity. But they are cool. They sound gnarly if you just take all the exhaust off of them.
I had it. It was straight pipe. It was no muffler, no resonator, just straight pipe.
Oh, it's just a small V8. Small
Yeah.
V8s sound really good.
It revved really well.
Yeah.
It revved very freely, unlike, I don't want to say, LS is great, but Coyote motors are crazy, but it wasn't like a 350. It was like, it actually had a mid and top end.
Always nice.
Yeah, good car. Sorry, tear. Missed that thing.
Yeah.
You're good.
Gone too soon.
I have a question for myself.
Sure.
Are those hot dog socks?
Yeah. Yeah, they are hot dog socks, dude.
I was literally wearing hot dog socks 2 days ago.
I got the glizzies.
So I found an Oscar Mayer Wienermobile sock, and it says Oscar Mayer Wiener above it, the logo, dollar store.
Worth it.
I got those, Lunchables, and Old Bay.
Dude, have you had the Old Bay goldfish?
Oh my
So fucking
God.
good.
They are
Bangers, dude.
so good. They're my favorite goldfish.
Yeah.
Great.
Anytime Sarah or I see them, we're always buying like at least 2 bags because you never know when they're going to be back.
So I'm
Are
Where do you see
Hannaford.
them up here? Where do you see them up here?
Hannaford.
I'm a big Hannaford guy. Yeah,
Really?
Walmart has no, just Hannaford. I don't think I saw them at Walmart. I got them because Leah had them. They're so good.
yeah, they're great. You could probably just make them yourself by taking goldfish and sprinkling Old Bay in there.
Yeah, but it's like somebody making you a PBJ.
Yeah.
You know, it's
It's
better.
so much better when someone else makes one.
Jess, make me a PBJ, please.
Yep, and you know it's better.
Yeah.
Always.
And me, raspberry, please, if you have it.
Red raspberry jam.
Yeah, it's got to have the little
The
seeds.
preserves?
That's my jam.
Yeah.
Get it? Because jam.
Ayy.
I can jelly with that.
Nice.
Thanks.
So this one, did you say who that was from? Oh yeah, that was Booby.
No, this one, okay, so I was afraid you were going to ask. It's DXMINICXN.
That's one of my former coworkers.
Okay.
Her name's Alba.
Okay. And so what is, I mean,
You trying to decipher it?
yeah, it kind of looks like Dominican.
She's Dominican.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. I didn't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
I
Dominican.
don't assume anything these days.
Yeah, she's Dominican. She's made the best tres leches cake I've ever had in my whole life.
That sounds amazing.
Bangs.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a really wet cake.
I love cake.
It's great.
You'd like it.
It's
I'm
good.
in. Send me a recipe.
She won't.
Send us a cake.
Send us a cake.
She
Ooh,
might.
send us a cake, please.
Yeah, I mean,
You could sponsor the podcast last week. That week. This is your fault.
You'll have to follow up with her about the cake.
All right.
well,
so-
we asked her question, though, so it's kind of like a given she asked you. Now.
Yeah.
There's all give and take.
Appreciate you. Thanks for the cake. How do you continue to stay creative and original, and then in parentheses, and also so handsome?
Dude,
You've
stop.
top 3 in Franklin now. I've been demoted to 4.
The originality thing is tough, and I think that's why I've been struggling with video so much. Is I've talked with Brian at length about this as well. Of like I'm bored of drift edits, specific like you watch a drift video. If I'm watching a drift video, I'm watching it to see if my car's in it, and that's kind of it. Because it's just at their core, it's just like you're like all right. After about 2.5 minutes, you're like I'm good. I get it. So I've, as far as creativity goes, it's been just trying to find another way to convey what's going on, which is something like I said, I've been like struggling to do, because it's kind of hard to tell a story or have any kind of timeline for drift specific videos. So the creativity aspect of it is kind of just something that like comes and goes, or like hopefully you can get inspired by like what you're seeing or what you're doing, or try and draw inspiration from other people's media and content and stuff like that. But it's kind of just up to the individual or the group working on stuff, because you can't teach someone how to be creative. You kind of just you figure it out for yourself.
Yeah, it is tough when you get a block. I used to be creative in my hot tub. Like that's where I came up with all my ideas.
How creative you getting in there?
You heard. But no, seriously, I used to sit in my hot tub every night, and I would come up with. That's how I came up with the gloves. That's how I came up with the name. That's how it like. And then stuff happened, and then I haven't really felt like I've been creative since.
Well, the hot tub broke, right?
Yeah, the hot tub broke.
Let me
and-
guess, the jets gave out?
Yeah, something with the jets probably.
Yeah, it stopped heating, and I just literally lost all creativity. So
I think you should fix it.
I bought a new one, and it had a hole in it.
Let's get you
and,
another
and
one.
it was already full. So I was like, "Oh, you can return it." I'm like, "That is such a process." So I still need to get a new hot tub.
Is it still, does it need to be returned?
It's in the shed now, wrinkled up in a ball, and I lost
We
my
got
money
this.
on that
We
one.
got this.
But anyway, that was from Twat Z33 or Anthony.
Yeah, he's a nice boy.
He is a nice boy.
Okay. So, and yes, he is a nice boy. This question, best, most fun daily for someone on a budget.
I would need more information about what budget means.
A budget, I'm not sure what this person's asking, but I'm just to keep it moving.
I know
say
you-
today, a
Yeah.
budget today, not 10 years ago when you could buy an E36 and they were everywhere.
Yeah, this one is tough because like it is there's sometimes you find nasty, sick deals, and sometimes you don't. But to kind of find like a middle ground, if you want, like, in my opinion, it would be, honestly, this might be controversial, Honda Fit. I got a Honda Fit when the STI took its life. That car is actually pretty fun to drive. It is so slow, but I find myself hucking that thing into turns faster than I would with the STI. So I think as far as like fun to dollar, Honda Fit, not a bad pick. Any Honda, really, in my opinion. I haven't driven many Civics or anything like that, but they have a huge following for a reason, and they're light. So, yeah, Honda Fit, Honda Civic, something like that. Maybe like a Focus ST or similar. I don't know. You can get those for reasonable money.
I had a Fiesta and I loved it.
Yeah,
Loved it.
Great car.
yeah. I think you can get a Fiesta ST for sub 10 grand.
Oh, yeah.
And they're pretty cool little cars. They sound actually pretty decent if you do an exhaust on them. I want to say a Golf, but if you buy a Golf, then it comes with a burble tune, and I don't like that, so not Golf. Or any, I would say, like modern-ish 3 Series or 1 Series. You can pick up a 1 Series BMW for, again, sub 10 grand. You can get like a 128, comes with a 6-speed. I think it's a 6-speed. But regardless, they're pretty cool little cars. They're not the fastest thing in the world, but they handle well. They get out of their own way. They look pretty sharp. Wouldn't need to do a ton to have a pretty cool, fun daily that's not going to absolutely destroy your bank account.
And parts are available for those
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, that's nice.
And you can support the homies down at FCP, get lifetime warranty on stuff.
Absolutely. That is a really cool program they have, by the way. I just
it's
found
dope.
out about that.
Yeah, it's dope. You have a German car and you're not buying your consumables or anything for that matter from FCP, then you're screwing up.
Yeah.
Everything's lifetime warranty. Everything, even performance stuff.
And the reason is because they feel like they should carry quality parts.
Yeah.
And I love that. Yep.
I need to be better about like retaining the things that I break to send back to FCP. I did it with some oil, and then the oil's been sitting in a box over there for like 4 months, but I'll get to it when I get to it. But it is nice that they offer it.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to touch on the fit thing, it's very, I don't know if you've seen this, but Best Motoring, I think it was Best Motoring back in the day, did a feature on that chassis when it came out. And it was the owner of Spoon that actually did. Have you ever seen this?
No.
Oh, he reviewed the chassis, and he talks about how the structural integrity of that chassis, because the way it's reinforced, it's a little box, he said it is like second to none for actually racing and going out and like just driving that car on the track. Like
Dude,
as is.
That thing is a blast. It's bone stock. It has the former owner put a giant fart cannon on the back, and it's terrible. But it is,
and the sunroof thing is weird to me.
He also put a sunroof spoiler on it, and the vehicle does not have a sunroof, so it's wicked goofy. But the car's a blast. Like I said, it's kind of like it's got Miata syndrome, where like it can't get out of its own way. But once you're up to speed, you can huck that thing. And I have stock suspension. I haven't done anything to that car. It's a blast.
Off ramps.
Oh yeah, off ramps, on ramps, a little bit more of a struggle.
Right.
Yeah, but off ramps, the back road on the way into work. That's a 35 that I allegedly am doing 60 miles per hour through
In Mexico.
south of the border.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a blast to drive. It's pretty good on gas, and it kind of looks like a tiny minivan, which I kind of like.
It really does.
If I see it from far away, I'm like, look at that little minivan. Yeah. And honestly, like not to keep gassing the fit up, but like. You can fit a surprising amount of stuff in the back of that vehicle. You put the seats down. I fit like 14 tires in the back of that thing when I was moving into the shop, and I was like, there's no shot. There's no way.
It's like it's in the name.
Yeah.
Fit. In Japan, it's the Jazz.
Really?
And well, probably everywhere else but America, but yeah, it's the Honda Jazz.
Oh, man. They should
I want a
totally
Jazz.
kept the Jazz.
I want the badge for it. Wicked bad.
The badges are $18 from Honda.
I got a birthday coming up in February.
I'll buy you one and buy me a Vezel badge for the HRV.
Okay. Deal. Trade.
Well, goddamn.
Yeah.
We're doing deals.
Yeah, I
Building
like that.
relationships.
We
I
love
love it.
We love
Cakes.
wheeling and dealing in here, yeah.
Cakes, emblems,
I'm excited for this wet cake.
Dude, you're gonna be living.
drums.
Drums?
Bro.
Dude, this podcast, it makes dreams come true. Brian, what do you want? Oh, yeah, you're getting
getting
a
the
badge.
badge, yeah.
Sorry, that's my bad. I fucked up.
It's your
The
badge.
HRV is the same chassis as the Fit.
Is it
Yeah,
really?
that's why
I didn't
Brian's
know
car
that.
is so fast.
Yeah.
It's got a giant turbo.
Very
Damn.
underpowered.
Small turbo. We had a buddy that used to be in a band with another one of my buddies who bought a Celica GT, which I kind of like the Celica. Not a bad little car. This is like 2008 or a little later, like early 2010s. And he bought this Celica, and he was like, yo, this is before I was like big into cars. I was like, I knew a thing or two, but he's like, yeah, I got this Celica. It's got a turbo, like this, that, the other thing. I'm like, sick. That sounds dope. And he like sends me and my buddy a picture, no turbo. And we're like, where's the turbo? And he's like, oh, like right here in the front. Like that's the turbo. Not the turbo. There wasn't a turbo. He was just talking out his ass. But that sparked, because it was a Celica GT. My buddy and I were like, oh, GT, we all know stands for giant turbo. So anytime we saw him, we're like, oh, how's the Celica giant turbo doing?
You guys are assholes.
Yeah, he never talked to us about the Celica again after that. But
That kind of applies to every Mustang.
yeah, I could see that. Yeah, reasonable.
That question came in from Olivia JB.
Nice. Hello, Olivia. Thanks for the question. That's funny. She has another, not former coworker of mine. She started after I left, but she has a Focus ST, I think. So that's funny.
Does
I
she
have
bake
one.
cakes?
I don't know. I went over there for like a Friendsgiving thing, and she made a soup, but she had to like veer off the road, and the soup spilled all over her car. It was kind of a whole thing. I felt pretty bad at the time.
Damn. So we won't ask her for soup then.
I bet you the soup was really good. I don't know. She seems like she makes a good soup.
I mean, I might be willing to try some floor soup.
If the car's clean enough.
Yeah, it depends on the
Yes,
condition.
True. Yeah, Focus ST.
Yeah.
No wonder why she spilled it.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
fast, dude. Giant turbo. We're back.
Yours was not. You had a blue one, right? Or what? It was like dark
Yeah,
blue.
I
That
had
was
a.
sick.
I don't remember what the color blue was, but it was 17 or something, and probably the most fun front wheel drive car I've ever had, and that says a lot considering I owned a bunch of Civics and Integras, and I loved my Civics and Integras.
Did you sell that local? Because I'm pretty sure I see one identical to it.
Sold it up in. It went up to Maine.
Oh, okay. But there's one like literally that was identical.
Yeah,
rolling around now still.
I've seen it, and once in a while I'll start to look them up, and then I remember like the way that the chips come off the quarter panel and they start to rust and
Yep.
stuff, and I'm like, just stick with the Hondas. You know, you just
They're easy.
and the miles. I'm not. You know what though? I was gonna say the miles just keep ticking away on the Hondas, but to shout out to the ST folks. Like I've seen a lot of those heavily into the 200,000 miles. Well done.
You probably still heard me swallow the water. On
It wasn't
I was
bad.
trying.
That's okay. We liked
It's a
it.
soft swallow.
Oh my god.
Well,
So this is a two-part question. We'll go with the first part, and it's not specific. So it says your favorite video ? So I don't know if it's a favorite video you've made or that you've watched. So let's go with what you've made.
I think my favorite video that I've made was probably the first Vibes edit that I did. I liked that edit a lot. The second one was pretty good too, but the first one was the first time I had gone. So I was like still like
Right.
hot and ready. You know, I was excited about it. Not that the second one I wasn't excited about, but so probably Vibes 1. I forget what year it was, 22 maybe. So I think
Because that's the year I went to, right?
yes.
Yeah, so 22. Yeah.
But as far as things I've produced, I think probably that. Favorite other video from like another party would probably be, and this is going to go back to what we talked about briefly, would be probably one of the original like Gymkhana videos. Because that was the first example I had seen of like really deliberate filming of cars doing like crazy shit.
Those are legendary.
They're so sick.
They're still as good today as
Yeah.
they were.
You
when
see
we
one
first
and you're like,
released them.
it's
Yeah.
coming out. Let's go.
Yeah,
And it's-
I will sit and watch the whole thing.
It's back when I think it was a Focus ST or similar, but it was like when those first rolled out.
Yep.
And like the car is gnarly, sounds great. Obviously, I forget the stat it puts up, but it's like 0 to 60 in like 1.8 seconds or
Yeah,
something
it's
crazy. I was like, dude, this thing is sick. But the production value on all those, it goes without words. They just are so far ahead of like everything else. So like inspiration wise, like first time I saw that, I was like, holy shit! Like people are doing this. This is like a thing. So good. But I think that's probably if I had to pick like a one favorite video, it's probably that.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Those are amazing.
Yeah, they stand the test of time for sure.
Yeah, we'll go back. I watched them with Logan a little while ago. My 12-year-old, we just went back and watched all of them. He didn't care, but I did.
Yeah.
I was like, this is
It's
awesome.
more for you, but
Yeah.
that's fine.
Well, he's seen so much car content
Yeah.
from you
Yeah.
on a daily basis, I'm sure.
He just likes cars. It's so. But anyway, second part to the question. Pick up that koozie for me. This says throw something at Brian.
Why? Who wanted this? Who wanted this? I need.
Don't
to know.
throw it. I can't tell you.
I'm not throwing it.
It was Rio.
I'm not throwing things at my friend Rio. It's rude.
You have Rio. Rude.
I'm not going to do that. I won't let you have the satisfaction.
Save it, and when you see him, throw it at him.
I got my own. I'll throw at him. I'm going to put a bean bag in this thing.
Oh my God, Rio, watch your back, bro.
I don't want to do it, but sometimes good men are led to do bad things.
You brought out the worst in Devon, Rio.
I
Good
can't
job.
believe he wants me to assault Bry Dog like that. That's crazy.
Which is also his friend.
Yeah.
It's messed up. All right. So yeah, Rio.
Didn't we literally just mention Rio before this? Because we were talking about the
He's
D word.
demure.
Yeah. Rio is the definition of demure,
Oh,
which is
That's right.
what was the definition? It's like shy and something. Shy and
Isn't it like
Sweet.
subtle?
Subtle.
Yeah.
not anymore. Apparently he's like a hitman.
so I have this theory about Rio. I have a theory about Rio. He's actually a serial killer.
Great.
Whoa.
Too nice.
Great. Don't put that out there.
It was a joke.
I don't agree with this theory at all, Rio.
Yeah, me either, Rio. He's too nice. I love it. He's like Keanu Reeves, and I hate Keanu Reeves.
You don't like Keanu Reeves?
I love Keanu Reeves, but I have to hate him. He's too damn nice.
I would let him take me out to a seafood dinner.
Damn.
I don't even eat seafood.
He wouldn't touch you. Guaranteed.
No,
Jesus.
you give me a firm handshake. I bet.
Have you seen the photos of when he takes
Like,
pictures with
does
Yeah,
them?
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Nah,
not an idiot.
He's a reasonable dude.
Smooth.
Damn.
Yeah.
You hate to love him. Love to hate him.
He's good, man.
Nah, I just love him.
He's good.
Damn, he's
Damn, he's
All right. What do we got next?
okay. So this one, I'm gonna ask it, but it's almost a repeat. So, how did you get so handsome?
Jesus Christ. How?
Definitely the most handsome.
We're going to have
questions.
a Devon the Bachelor, even though he's got a girlfriend, Sarah, who
Yeah,
we love very
can't
much.
do that.
No. Good point. Oh, I dropped something. I'm that guy.
That's very sweet. Whoever asked that.
It was Rob.
That's funny because someone posted a video and Rob was in it, and it was like a story or something like that, and I was like, Rob, you're looking like so cute in this today. That's so funny. I don't think I've ever been unintentionally like. He's someone who will like really push your limits in like not a bad way, but like sometimes Rob and I will riff, and sometimes it gets like kind of aggressive to the point where like, are you boyfriends? Do you date? It's like maybe we do. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's how you know you're real friends, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Yeah. So stop trying to hide your dating. The world knows.
It's funny because anytime we go to events, Sarah's like, all right, I'm gonna lose Devon. He's got to go hang out with all his boyfriends. I'm like, sorry.
Sorry, you have to share me.
What do you want me to do?
I love
Only
the
one
drifting
man.
world where we're all boyfriends.
Yeah,
with
it's
each
what it
other.
is.
It's awesome. I've never heard the word love so much than when you go to a drift event. Love you, bro. Love you.
It's
Love you.
it's very sweet.
Man, I fucking love you.
Started doing it over the last year or so with all my friends. When I say, I get off the phone with them, I go, love you,
Love you.
bye. And
Hang up before they can answer.
the first time you catch them, it's like, yep. It's so much fun.
I get mad when you don't say love you because
I
we
know.
say it back to
I'll
each other.
call you back.
Yeah. Sorry. Love you too.
That's really
funny.
nice, you guys.
Yeah,
That's really
yeah,
good.
it's endearing. That's what we're really all about here at
Oh, yeah.
Limiter.
Yeah.
I think it's
love.
I think it's good. Yeah.
Love.
Yeah. Well, that is drifting. You know, I'm.
Way to reel that back in.
Almost redundant. Almost redundant. But you know, the drifting community still to this day is. I don't think you're going to find anything more inclusive, really. And you know, you mentioned it before, but it is. It's like a home.
Yeah.
I've never. How many people at 40 like get it? And you hit it too. Like get a new group of friends. Like you just do this thing and. You know, then there's one, and then there's another, and
And then
there's
you're going to
another.
Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
And then you're, baby showers. And
Yeah.
now you guys are like the friend group.
Yep.
Wild.
Yeah, it's great.
I love it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change a thing.
So I love you.
Love you. Devon, love you. Brian,
Yeah, love you guys.
love
Oh.
Brian?
I still love you.
Brian had a bad day too. We all had bad days.
I had-
Oh no, you guys had good days. We had bad days.
Even if it's a bad day, it's still a good day.
We're upright.
Yep, damn right.
What's that thing that Pitbull said? Every day above
Mr.
ground is a
Worldwide?
good day. Remember that?
Oh, that's such a gangster saying for somebody like Pitbull.
Dude, Pitbull, he's got some bangers, dude.
Yeah.
we don't talk shit about Pitbull here.
Is it because he's out of is he in Miami?
He's everywhere. He's Mr. Worldwide. Oh. I thought you knew that.
Number one, I should have known. Two, I wish I did because that was the best lead up ever.
Yeah. Anyway.
Good stuff. If he were a spirit animal, what would he be? So pretty much, what's your spirit animal? Also a two-parter.
I don't know. I'm kind of like a big goose guy. I like geese a lot.
Geese
A lot of
cool.
people hate geese. I think they're pretty good.
It's the most. I don't just. That was an odd answer.
Yeah.
You remember when we saw a goose in my front yard?
Oh yeah.
And it flew over my head, and I was
Devon.
I was under the weather.
me.
It was
Spirit
you
of me.
watching over us while
Here
we
to-
barbecued.
Here to rise up.
I'm sorry. Please elaborate. You said a lot of people don't like geese.
Yeah. No, that's it. A lot of people don't like geese. They're kind of mean, but like they're really not that bad, dude. They're just trying to like defend their little territory and their little goslings and stuff.
Yeah, don't fuck with a goose.
I like geese. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably have to pick a goose. Yeah.
Yeah.
So does that mean don't fuck with you?
No, I'm all right.
All right.
Respect the honkers though.
He's a docile goose. Docile, the right
Hey,
word?
demure?
Docile? Demure? You're a demure?
No, I'm not saying that.
All right, good. I don't ever want to say it again. What's your spirit animal?
Mine?
Yeah.
A lion.
Why?
Badass.
It's just
Look at them.
Let me guess, your favorite movie Scarface, too.
no. I would have said
Sorry.
a dragon.
Badass.
Yeah.
No,
right?
that's badass.
Two dragons.
You can still pick a dragon, dude. The Komodo dragon does
If a
exist.
dragon and a lion had a baby, that's my spirit.
Thing would be
Damn.
ugly as hell.
Yeah, but fly and shoot flames.
A Dryon? Ryan the Dryon?
Yes.
Dryin.
Well, from a young age, everybody called me Ryan the Lion, and lions are cool. Plus, the king of the jungle, and I got an orange cat at home that looks like a lion, so
There it is.
he might be my spirit animal.
He's your familiar.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm a sloth. I'm smart, slow, but I get it done.
You're a sloth?
I just love sloths. You know what animal I started to like that I keep seeing on my TikTok? It's like a weird little rat thing that just goes with its tongue.
Sounds nice.
Do you know what it's called?
No, but I wish I did. He's the tongue guy, the tongue rat. I don't even know. He's not even a rat. He looks like a... What are those things called? The big rats.
Capybara?
Yeah, he looks like a
Oh, those
mini
are cool.
capybara, but a big rat. And he just always sticks his tongue out. I send him to my friends like Chad and stuff
Dude.
quite frequently.
He sounds pretty cool, dude.
I'm into him. If I find one, I'll send it to you on TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a real question. Do you watch my TikToks I send you?
Sometimes, but sometimes you send so many I get overwhelmed.
Well, it's because I never know if you're watching them. I stopped sending them to Brian because he got mad at me. Well, he didn't get mad at me. He literally said, I don't watch them.
Yeah,
like, all
I
right.
tried. If there's like a few, I'll usually watch them. But sometimes I don't go on TikTok for a while, and I come back. There's like 20. I'm
I'll
like,
slow
I
down.
can't do it. I can't
I'll slow
do it.
down.
I get
That's
stressed
my
out.
bad. I get excited.
I don't blame you. It's all right.
At night,
I'm not knocking
this
you.
has Devon's name written all over it.
I feel bad when it happens, but
No, don't.
it's one of those things where I'm like, sometimes I just take a break from an app.
I
you
just
know?
Yeah.
push my TikToks on you, and I apologize.
Oh, it's fine.
Second part of the question, when are you getting back on the mic to sing us sweet lullabies?
Probably not anytime soon. I'm like so out of practice for. I mean, even for like anything music, like picking up the guitar again. My fingers have been like raw, just because like I haven't played an instrument so long. Same thing goes for your voice. I haven't really practiced yelling at a mic in a long time, and I don't think it would go well if I started again. No, you do not want that. I'm not
All right.
doing it. So yeah, probably not anytime soon. I don't think I'll be involved in anything serious with music again. I wouldn't mind doing like a for funsies thing with like a couple of my buddies or something, but
Well, here they are. Bring them.
yeah, no, I don't think I'll be doing any music stuff again, unfortunately. But it's like one of those things where like once you kind of hit the end of it, you're like, I'm good.
Yep.
Like
You
I
had
said,
your time there.
I got what I wanted out of it. I
You
had
had
fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was from J Rizzo 240 or Jerry.
Thanks, J-Bone.
Okay, so next question. Where did Sprial get its name from?
Ooh, that's good.
This actually, so the core of where it came from was I was like trying to think of something like car adjacent, but I wanted it to be a single word because it's easier to talk about. So I just thought of like drifting, which is like spinning tires. And like what else spins? A little spiral when you're getting hypnotized, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. That's the whole bit.
It sucks you in.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even think that far into it. I was like, spirals go like that, right? And I was like, yep, that's a name I could do. So I did it.
And it works.
I ran it by Dan King when we were working on my car, and he thought it was a good name too. So I said, ship it. We're doing
Yeah.
it. But I do like it. I think it works. It's simple. It's short.
Looks good too.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thanks, man.
And now when you hear it, you know it's, you guys.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and that came in from Mike. This might be Mike L Visual, or it might be Mikkel Visual. Mike L Visual.
Yeah.
All right.
Mike's been in the media game for a hot minute. I don't think he does it quite as much anymore. He still does here and there, but he did like a lot of Club Loose North and stuff. He's done, I want to say he did like stuff at like Epping at the Dragway and stuff
That's
like that
cool.
too. But he's a big media guy from way back. Also has an E36, best car.
Oh, so he did media first? I did not know that.
Yeah, he's a big media guy.
Oh, so I met Mike, obviously at Nedco. I didn't know he did media. That's cool. It's wild.
I should say like former media guy.
Right.
But I think he still does here and there. He probably dabbles.
If you pay him the right amount.
Yeah, everybody will dabble for a
Do
couple
anything.
bucks.
Do anything for the right price. Yeah.
I got $20 in my pocket.
We can talk later.
All right. So this one is a good one. Would you still love me if I turned into a worm?
It depends who it is.
It's Sarah.
Yeah, I would. Like honestly, worms kind of freak me out. Oh no! Like I never liked fishing because I had to touch a worm and they're all slimy and wriggly. But if it was her, yeah, why not?
That's how much you love her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, this is probably because there's been a guy doing a video series on like his whole bit is like my girlfriend turned into a worm, but he does like these really nice endearing things for the worm. Like he's like, so I built her a tiny worm house and like blah 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 blah. So
if you get really into worm,
I've been sending her them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's how it's been working out. But they are pretty nice. He's like, my girlfriend turned into a worm, and one of them's like, so I made us a pasta dinner, and he makes like a teeny tiny little plate of pasta for the worm. It doesn't eat it, obviously, but I don't know.
The internet's a wild place.
Yeah.
The videos that people make and we all love. Like I was talking to Brian about a video today where they take music, and I probably sent you some of these, and they take out all the music, and it was like Taylor Swift singing, but it was in a monotoned Australian accent.
Kind of love that.
And it's the most amazing thing ever. And they did Nickelback and Creed, and it's literally just I'll send you another one.
How does the room feel about Nickelback?
I'm a Creed guy, hence the tattoo.
They're both sick.
That's the only right answer, I think.
I'm a Creed guy.
You should, if you haven't watched it, there is a Nickelback documentary.
I heard about it.
It is banging. It is really well
What's
done.
it called?
Forget. I don't have Netflix.
I'm just curious, like, what would you call a Nickelback documentary?
I think it was something about being hated or something, because they talk about like obviously the period of time where Nickelback was like the butt of every joke.
Right.
Still kind of is.
It's called Hate to Love
Yeah.
Nickelback.
Okay.
It's like an hour and a half. It's really well shot, and there's a lot of really cool ass footage from when they were like a brand new band. It's cool as shit. Highly recommend you watch it,
I like documentaries, so I'll do it.
dude. It's good. You're gonna
If,
like it.
if you watch my TikToks.
Okay, that's an easy deal.
All right. Look at that. More deals being made.
Love
I love
deals.
it. You got to make Brian watch my TikToks too, though.
I can't promise anything.
I know. You're not in it anyway.
Yeah, Nickelback slaps. I won't take any Nickelback disrespect in my vicinity.
I'm a Creed guy.
That's fine.
All right. Can we all agree that Coldplay sucks, though?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
I also hate you too. Sorry. Not you.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
too. You don't
Like
like
when they have to like put their album on an iPhone and then it's yours
was
now.
crazy.
No, thank you.
Well, it was the other side of it too. Of you can't have my music on Napster. I think they were a big part of that back in the day. Napster.
Wasn't that mostly Metallica?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Lars was a big crybaby.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
don't blame him, dude. Secure the bag.
on his money.
Yeah.
Not like Spotify's any freaking better.
But at
this
the
point. Like,
time, I was 13, and freedom.
one of my buddies had Napster, and Napster did this thing where if you like actually used it, where if you didn't pay them, it would stop working on your iPod.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. I remember that.
Because he's like, you got to hear this song, and he tried to play it, and it was like, nope. I was like, this is a thing. I was a big LimeWire guy.
I was a LimeWire
Yeah.
guy. Imagine if it said nope. You got to play it. It's like,
Crazy. I
nope.
was like, no shot, dude.
That'd be
a
awesome.
recording.
Yep. Nope. Damn. Yeah, LimeWire. All right. So yeah, that was from Sarah.
Okay. So this one says, if you wrestled,
I like this question.
if you three wrestled the guests from the last episode, how do you think it would go?
So I think the question is this three, but the question could also be this three. So I read it as this three.
I think regardless of what three it is, it would be a pretty stiff competition. And I'm not talking about how hard it would be. I'm talking about, No, I think it would be a pretty tough wrestling match, honestly. Mike's a pretty tall, big dude. Jerry also, he's about my height, pretty strong guy. Mike, you said he's wiry. I believe it. I probably wouldn't want to fight any of them. Never mind wrestle.
So I broke it down into I would be fighting Jerry. Brian would be Brian and Jerry, me and Mike, and then you and Michael. And
Me and Bruning?
I'm pretty sure I'm losing the fight just because I can't move. Like, I'm not what I used to be, which still wasn't much. So I just don't think we're going to win this fight.
How do I hate on him?
He's
How do I
so
bring out the
strong.
anger?
How do you want to wrestle him,
Right?
Any of
He
them,
would
they're
have to
big
like,
dudes,
he'd have to bring it out of me.
he'd probably have to like step on your girlfriend that's a worm or something,
Oh, my
I'll
God.
kill you.
Yeah, I would do it.
Damn.
I don't know. It would have to be for like a charity or something, and it would have to be for fun. We'd have to have like 4 ambulances on site ready to go.
I know I'd be broken just because he'd get my heart rate up and I'd just pass over.
I'm for it. Let's do it. Next episode.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
If you guys are in, this is a challenge. Man up, bitches.
Yep.
Get a kiddie pool.
See, we tried to wrestle on the last one, so this is it. I'll throw it. All of us throwing $20, and whoever stands victorious, that money goes to a charity of Devon's picking.
Right. And the loser, human centipede.
Oh,
Terrible.
well, now I have to fight. God damn it. Our weapons. Anyway. Who's that from?
That was from Mike Bruning.
Jesus.
Yep.
Damn it, Mike.
Slippery guy himself, dude.
Yeah. Don't wrestle him.
I don't think I want.
I never expected. That's why it's such a big topic, because when you see him, he's a nice, and his personality too. Nicest guy in the world. But he will throw you on the floor.
with America's ass.
Yes, that's right. I thought it was Dutchy. I thought it was a Dutchy type butt.
Dutchy type butt. Dude.
I'm so sorry.
One of our good nights.
You may want to take this out, Brian.
He was wearing one of those like pigtail hats, and he looked
He
looked Dutch. And with a butt like that, you just got to call him Dutchy type butt.
Yep.
I have no idea what you're talking
Mike
about.
Bruning.
I know who Mike Bruning is.
He has America's ass because he was wearing those little American flag shorts.
Okay. I did not.
Okay.
I wasn't following.
All right. Well, he's got to. Anyway.
I don't think I'm going to call him.
Next time you see him, though,
I'm not going to call
You're
him.
gonna
I
look.
guarantee
You're
you
gonna
look the next time you see him.
I don't know if I will.
I hope so.
I don't know.
He'll make you look. If you had to switch from Sony, what brand would you go with, and why would it be Fuji?
It would be Canon because I know Canon. I don't mind. I don't know. I haven't really shot anything besides Canon and Sony, and I've only had Sony for the past probably 7 years at this point, 6 years, something like that. None of them are bad. So that's a thing I see people debate about all the time of Sony's better than this company because of this, or Fuji has the best color and blah blah blah. And yes, all camera brands have their strengths and their weaknesses, but you can make any of them look like the other one if you know what you're doing. It's all skill and mostly in post. So I don't. If someone was you have to shoot Fuji for the rest of your life, I'd be fine with it. I don't have any problems with the Fuji stuff. It's not bad. I just have had Sony and I know it fairly well at this point. And I had Canon before, and I kind of miss the feeling of big and bulky. But I'm not not really a hater on any of them. They all make great products as long as you know what you're doing. I think we should end the debates on which one is the best. They all have good and bad qualities.
So it's like Ford, Chevy, Dodge.
iPhone, Samsung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But can you guess who that question was from?
Is it this guy?
That was that guy right over there.
The irony is that I was going to ask about the debate of color science between brand sensors.
Here we are.
Sensors, because I think it's such bullshit.
Yeah, it is. I think. I mean, like I said, you can make any of them look like the other ones. Some of them do look a little better out of box just because of how it's programmed and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if I wanted my footage to look like Brian's, it would take however long it takes for me to figure out how to make it look that way. But it can be done. Yeah, it's just about what you're comfortable with, what's in your budget. Some of them are inherently more expensive than others, so you have to take stuff like that into consideration, obviously. But I don't know. Try them out. See what you like.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. So not off the card or anything, but as a media person, I guess this is because I've never shot an event or anything like that. Aside from Like, I mean, you're out there all day long. You're in dust, dirt, rubber, smoke, whatever, bugs biting you, everything. It's a difficult thing, I'm sure, but like the drive and determination of you guys to stand out there all day is very impressive. You know, is it just the shots that are drawing you in? Do you want to watch the event? Is it the whole experience? You know, I guess what keeps you guys coming back? Why do it?
I mean, it's pretty subjective for most people, I
Sure.
would say. But I think the biggest draw of it is that you get to be up close and personal, where you're not really like, obviously as media, like you are allowed to be there, but like in the grand scheme of things, like as a spectator, like you're not supposed to be there. So it's definitely exciting to be on a wall when someone is buzzing by it and you are there with your little gimbal and your little camera and your little mic, and you're running along a wall with it as a car is flying by you doing like 35 in a parking lot. And it's definitely exhilarating because like if you're getting a sick shot and you're like this far away from a car, it's sick. But I think it's a combination of the experience, and then again, if you're getting good material, when you get into post and you're looking at it, you're like, oh shit, like this is dope. So it's just like it's just a big like dopamine hit, basically. You know, if you're feeling kind of down and you have a nasty shot and you see it, you're like, oh, needed that, thank
Worth
God.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's different for everyone. Some people like the experience, and like pretty much anywhere you go, there's other media people. You know what I mean? So you get to hang out with people and see how other people do stuff, shoot the shit while you're there. It's a pretty good time shooting media, even though, to your point, like sometimes it does suck ass.
In the car as a driver, it looks brutal. Okay.
Yeah.
And I do look at you guys when I'm sitting in grid or whatever, and I can see the photographers, and it's been 90 degrees, but I've been making laps. You know, I get a little wind blowing in my face, whatever. I take a break, I go drink some water, whatever. You're stuck on the inside of the track sometimes, or up somewhere. So yeah, I could see that, you know, but I never thought about, that aspect, and that's really cool. I never thought about the perspective of being on the other side of the fence, you know,
Right.
where you are right next to that car.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's definitely, yeah. I mean, for time of, you know, and when you are on site filming and stuff like that, it's an experience. It's weird. Like the first time, like going to like Club Loose, or not Club, well, even Club Loose, but Lock City. It's like strange to just be like running around the grass shooting. It's cool as hell because like now having driven it, like you drive by it and you see all the media people and you're like, I've been out there, and it's a sick place to be when stuff is happening. But definitely, like I said, I think the bigger aspect of it for me anyway is like when you do get sick shots or anything like that, and you get them off of the tiny camera screen, you see it on like an actual monitor or laptop or whatever you got. It is dope. It's dope when you like absolutely like nail something and you're like, oh yes, thank you so much that worked. Like, thank God.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the best possible outcome, right? Is when you get that shot or whatever. Now on the flip side, when people spin or go off course or anything like that, you keep your head on a swivel constantly. Do you ever get nervous, or I know you guys are in some dead zones, but things happen.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, typically I'm not that nervous because I try to keep a pretty good eye on what's going on around me. I can't say that I've ever felt like unsafe at a track. For the most part, like they have guidelines for that specifically. Like things can happen, but chances are pretty slim typically. So I've never been in a point where I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be here. I'm nervous for my health and safety.
That's cool. That's good. That's where
Yeah.
you want to be as a
Yeah.
photographer, I'm sure.
Yeah, because you're not like largely like you're not getting paid. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to put myself in a position where I can get screwed for like no benefit other than like a dope video. So yeah, it's never. I wouldn't say it's like nerve wracking or anything like that. If you're media and you're like nervous about it for your first time, you don't need to go on the course. You can stay on the outside of it. You can hang in the pits. There's a bunch of stuff you can do and kind of warm yourself up to the point of like, all right, maybe I will go on like this turn that's in like kind of a safe spot. And I think once you like kind of like take the bait a little bit and like work yourself into like spots where like you will get nasty shots at cars like 3 feet away from you, like you're just going to ride that for sure because it's dope. It's cool.
Yeah, it draws you in even further, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, that's
Hard
cool.
not to. Unless you're like scared. You know, if you're like a nervous little guy, then that's fine too. But
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite place that you've ever shot? Like favorite event, favorite venue, favorite like?
It's so far. I've only done like the local areas. So I've done Nedco obviously a bunch. Club Loose I've only gone down to once. Lock City. I've only shot there like one time at night for a few hours. So that didn't. I don't even think I've put out a Lock City video, but I think probably it's vibes because they're pretty. I mean, they're like pretty reasonable with their media guidelines, but it's also at the same point of like they know that you're a professional and you know what you're doing, so they kind of play it a little bit fast and loose, not to the point where anything's unsafe, but to the point where they're not going to babysit you, which is what I like most about it. They give you, your zones that you're allowed to be in, and they're good spots to be. And that the whole element at Vibes is it's cool. It's a fun place to shoot because it's a fun place to be. So it's probably Vibes as far as a favorite. I would say Club Loose is pretty fun down there, but it is a little restrictive as far as where you can shoot from. So if you've never been or you're planning to go, like if you shoot primes, it kind of sucks because you can't go too many places, and if you shoot primes, you're kind of stuck at that length. So bring like a zoom if you got it. But yeah, I think Vibes is my favorite. Club Loose is a cool spot to be. I would say Lock City is fun to shoot, but like I said, I've only shot there for a couple hours once. So, but as far as like where they allow you to go, it seems like it would be pretty fun because I've driven by where media gets to go, and I go, that looks like a cool spot to shoot from. And Brian's done a bunch of stuff down there too, and there's consistently some pretty sick content coming out of there. So
Yeah, I was going to say
obviously the spot is pretty solid. So
yeah, the angles and everything I see is I mean, it's really, really great. The media that comes out of Lock City is phenomenal. Yeah.
I agree.
Do you have? Sorry to keep like stealing it. Do you have a dream event that you want to shoot?
Not really.
No,
Not really. Like I said, I kind
or
of want
not
to
event, but like a track or somewhere that you really, really want to go and shoot and see.
No, not really. Like I said, I kind of want to get away from like just drift edits.
Okay.
I'd have to do some research onto places I would want to go shoot at and things like that. But I think like the direction I want to go into is more story driven type of things.
I'm excited if you do. That's awesome.
It's I have like a lot of ideas, but it's hard to follow through with those things.
Time or just everything.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, mostly this year it's been more of like a mental state. But I've been making pretty good bounds with that. So like my head's been pretty decent lately, which is refreshing because it's been a minute. But there's tons of cool places out there. I'm sure if I like went to a few, it'd be like, I could shoot here. This could be sick. But
I'd love to see one of you guys hit up like the Iron Drift King. It's this island in Germany, and it's this weird little island. They just had it on YouTube. I just saw it for the first time. And it's an old like refinery, and it's just all equipment around it. Like I'm talking
sick.
like monster cranes and shit, but it's all not working. It's so cool.
And so you drift among the equipment.
It's so cool.
That's
Look it up
awesome.
on
That sounds dope.
YouTube.
I'll definitely
it's
check
so
that out.
sick.
I would love to shoot some drift content at Little Talladega.
Oh yeah.
That Airbnb that is just like a gnarly little drift course.
I had a little plan that I wanted to get some people there, but it's obtainable,
expensive.
but it's very unattainable.
It's expensive and it's far away, but
Yeah.
Sarah and I had some really good ideas that I'm not going to dive into because I do dream one day that we can pull them off down there. But it would be such a cool spot to be able to do like some of the story driven stuff and also just do like your normal cookie cutter. Like we're just sliding around this big house.
Right.
And it's still going to be cool. But yeah, if I had to pick one to double back on it, it probably would be Little Talladega just because it's a weird, cool spot. And it is, though somewhat unattainable for our location, it is something I think we could do
Yeah.
with
So
enough planning.
if you're listening, buy some gloves so we can plan a limiter trip
Yeah,
to the Drift Mansion, if you will.
we want to take a field trip. So
Support.
Yeah, buy some gloves and fill out our permission slips and give us $40 for the gift shop, please.
I like that.
Yes, per person. Please all give us $40.
Yeah, and I want a PB&J,
Yeah.
raspberry.
Because you know it's going to be good.
Preserves.
Do you toast your PB&J?
Sometimes. If I toast it, it's an English muffin.
That's a good move.
Now,
Banging.
Yeah.
Nope. Bread.
Nooks and
bread,
crannies.
Bread.
You know,
No, because then it cuts up the top of your mouth. It's just like Captain Crunch.
Get a tougher mouth.
No. I'm not doing that.
Okay, now that I stole everything, do you have a finish to that?
No, I
I have
okay.
apologized.
So I guess I have a couple questions, and then I'll get to this one because I'm being selfish too. But anywhere you would like to drive?
I want to do DOD so bad because they have like
Yeah.
how many tracks is there? Like 6, 7, something
Seven.
crazy. I had planned on going last year, and then the ride situation ended up falling through. It is what it is. It's out of the person's hands. I get it. It's not a big deal, but it did stink at the time because I got my little race suit, I got my little race boots, I got like all my stuff, and then like I couldn't go, and I was bummed. Like I bought a ticket and everything, and I had to get it. Like I got a refund, and like no harm, no foul, but it does seem like an absolute blast to go drive down there. And there's just so many courses that like the amount of seat time you get is like up to you, which is like, that's a dream to be able to be limited by you instead of someone being like, all right, your 45 minutes is up, get off the course. Instead you can, go drive for half an hour, take a break, eat a hot dog, get a drink, go out for 45 minutes, come back, change some tires. Like it's just a lot more streamlined and chill. So yeah, DOD, I think is my top pick for places I want to drive just because it is somewhat local, super dope, and like somewhat affordable to drive. It wasn't crazy money to register for the event, so
Do you see yourself going this year?
pending ride. If I can get a ride down there, I want to go so bad.
I think there's a large group of us that are planning on going.
I think there might be a truck going, not towing anything.
If there's a truck going that's not towing anything, then the person with the truck not towing anything should hit me up and work out some money. Hey, what's up, Jake? I'm Devon. Nice to meet you.
We'll talk after.
Okay. But yeah, DOD seems like a blast. And I don't know what their media stuff is like down there. I'm like, obviously, I'm sure they have media and stuff like that. But with that amount of stuff going on, it would probably be a dream to run around there with, 4 full batteries and 3 empty SD cards and just go nuts. So yeah, DOD.
Yep.
Where's that? West Virginia, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Summit Point.
I'm
Place is
going.
awesome.
I'm going
Yes.
this year. You're trying to go.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm just going to go.
Brian, you going?
Sure.
Love it. It's going to be a fun time.
4
sure
handsomest guys in Franklin. I'll go into West Virginia.
I don't
Crazy.
think West Virginia is going to be able to handle
West
how much
Virginia.
handsome's coming their way.
We're going to have to beat them off with a stick.
Mountain mama.
Like each
Take
other.
me home. Country road.
It's going to be a long truck ride.
And you didn't think he was going to sing.
Dude,
You're welcome.
Song,
Yeah.
Song bang.
That's a
Welcome.
warm up.
That's for Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry, that's for you. Welcome.
Nice.
Other questions I have for you. What got you into BMWs? Where did that come from?
Literally, that was just a good deal.
Yeah.
So
So,
I was-
that was
Yeah, I was never a big BMW guy. And then I got that car, and like I said earlier, I was like, oh, I need to get an S13. And
Yeah.
then like I drove the car, and I was like, this thing's actually like pretty indestructible. I've thrown a lot at that car, and it's been great every step of the way, other than things that I have done to it. Like I smacked a wall. Like the car didn't do that. I did that. But as far as the chassis itself, like it's just taken all the abuse I've thrown at it, and it's fun to drive. It's reliable. It's fun. It's way faster now that it has a turbo on it. I can't ask for much more out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's just where my BMW like favoritism came from. Is like the car sold itself to me, and I was
Yeah.
like, you know what, they're pretty good cars actually.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Absolutely. And I see where you're coming from with that because it's such a well-rounded car that you can get into. And, I had an E36. At the time, definitely the car was probably still better than I was for sure. It was an M3, and it was just, I always found myself going, wow, I probably shouldn't be going this fast.
I don't know. I find it like a testament to the quality of the motor itself that convertible has like 198,000 miles on it or something, and I decked the head and threw a turbo on it, and it runs great. No issues, nothing. Like there's not many cars with 200,000 miles that you could be like, hey, I'm going to double your horsepower real quick, and they're fine with it. Like it usually just doesn't work that way. So great car, fun to drive.
Yeah.
Love that thing.
Touche. Okay. Jake?
So I'm going to start. So that did you say who that last question was from?
Those were all me, man.
Yeah,
no, I know, but I don't think you.
The last one was from Michael.
Okay.
And then I went on with
He's
a
been-
couple of
okay.
questions.
Yeah, he's been-
I was interested.
He's freestyling.
So I think you have the last viewer question. on
Okay.
your hand.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I do, but I had one more. And
Oh,
this,
I've
it
got
leads into this question.
Yeah, and I have a good question
Okay.
after. So
okay.
you
So
go.
my question is, speed, proximity, angle. What's the most exciting to you?
If
I guess
I'm
angle is kind of a weird one, but
if
you
I'm
know,
if I'm leading, it is proximity.
mm-hmm.
If I think proximity either way kind of takes top dog because you don't need to really be going fast, but if you're like kind of in someone's grill, it's sick. Speed is like kind of tough because the only tracks I've driven have been like the Nedco lot and Lock City. So Lock City is actually a fairly quick track. It's super grippy down there, which is super nice. But I think
talking about clubhouse or
yeah.
Yep.
So I think in order it would probably be proximity, speed, angle. Just because usually angle is kind of subjective based on speed. Mm-hmm. So like if you're pulling fat angle, you're not flying usually, you can be, but yeah, I think that's usually what gets me the most hype. If we could be doing like 25 miles an hour, but if I'm leading or chasing or whatever, if me and whoever I'm driving with are all, a foot away from each other, it's dope.
Yeah. Yeah. Good answer.
Thanks.
I like that. And then the last question, and I have to say who this comes from first because of the way the question's worded, but this comes from Matt Fab,
Hello, Matt.
guy you may know.
I know that guy, I think. Sounds familiar.
I know him as, I think it was Drift Truck Matt.
Sarah and I call him Matt Fabulous.
He's pretty fabulous. I
He
like
is.
that. He would like to know, when are y'all swapping, and when are you guys LS swapping an E36?
Never.
Never? Why?
I'm never doing that. You want a hot take from me?
Wait, no. Is this the one?
Yeah, I have a hot take.
Nope, not yet.
We're not ever LS swapping a BMW.
Okay, good answer.
That's it.
We're not getting into that yet. I have a question,
Sure. Hit me.
and I'm going to ask this on every podcast, so be ready. If you were a Fast and the Furious character, who would you be and why?
I'd be Suki because her name's also Devon and she's pretty hot. S2000, pretty dope.
So Brian had the same answer?
Yeah.
You?
No, Devon Aoki, she's sick.
And she's related to Steve Aoki.
Yeah, they're married.
Oh, really?
Really? No kidding.
These are things I didn't know.
Yeah.
We're learning, too. Fun.
Yeah, and there's no BMWs in any of the Fast movies that I know of, so.
There's yes, there is Too Fast, Too Furious. There's an M3 wide body. It's
Oh,
from
for that like one chase
Yeah,
scene? No,
yeah.
that doesn't count.
Okay.
That's like, I never thought about that.
What?
No BMWs.
Yeah, there's like no Well, I get it. Well, no, there should be BMWs. It's not fair.
They could have done like the V10 M5 or something. Yeah.
Oh, when they started becoming unrealistic movies?
Yeah, you could take a BMW
No,
to
no,
the
I'm
moon.
just saying. It's Fiero.
That actually lines up perfectly because that V10 is an unrealistic car to own.
So who would you be?
Probably ludicrous.
Oh, awesome answer.
Yeah.
Awesome
That's
answer.
that scene where they're having the jet ski races
Yeah.
and stuff. I'm like, man, I screwed up in life. I should be doing that.
I like that.
That guy's got the best job ever. Just yelling at people on jet skis with a
And then
megaphone
collecting
on
money.
the beach.
And then collecting money.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, he probably went wrong turn when he got involved with Fast and Furious. He should have just kept on with the jet ski gig.
Right.
Seems like
Just
it
have a
would've
sick shop in Florida.
been- yeah.
He had the Louis Vuitton NSX and Dodge Ram in those movies, and they were sick.
Right. And he could have had whatever he
And
wanted.
why do you think I wrap my truck Louis Vuitton?
Boom.
10 years, 18 years later.
Awesome answer. Ludicrous, I didn't even think of that.
I'd be Bow Wow because I'm deep into the drift community and I don't drift.
Wow.
And I always have the most ridiculous vehicles and I like to sell things.
That's also a pretty good answer.
So I'm Bow Wow. All
I could
day.
see you in the Hulk Scion.
Yeah, I'd
You got the knockoff
I'd
Jordan.
fuck with it. I fuck with it.
Selling
You got
people's
a-
cell phone.
You got an iPod that doesn't work?
Yep. Hey, anything to make a buck, right?
That's right.
So yeah, so I'm going to start asking that question, and then the other questions we have is called Ryan and Jake's hot takes. So we're going to ask the guests. So if you're coming on, be ready. I want to hear your number one hot take in anything. It doesn't even have to be the drift world. I want to hear your hot take. So Devon, what's your hot take?
LS swaps are boring and overdone, and I'm tired of LS swaps. I'm tired of it. Of it. Matt knows that I have this stance, which is why he's asking this question, I'm sure. I don't have an issue with LSs. They're fine. I get why everyone wants to put an LS in whatever car they have because they are reliable and they are fairly cheap and they work. I get it. But like, I'm bored. I'm bored of it. Like, not every 240 needs to sound like a Chevy truck. At this point, put an SR20 in it. I'd rather you have an SR20 or find an RB20. Those are dirt cheap now. There are other cooler options that are also fairly reliable. I'm bored of LS swaps. No more LS swaps, please. I beg. That's it.
Is anybody in this room doing an LS swap on a 240 this winter?
I would like to do an LS swap on my 240 this winter. No, but
Boring.
it is boring, and you're right. I
get it.
And it's not because I think LS is the greatest engine in the entire world. And it's certainly not because I'm a rich fella, but it's because it's small, it's very practical, and if you keep it NA, it should be pretty reliable.
No, you could have this conversation 1,000 times, and it makes sense every time.
Yes.
I totally understand why they are a popular choice.
They're just not for you.
Boring.
Yep.
I'm bored of it.
Yep.
I'm bored of it.
I understand where you're coming from, though. You know, I had an RX-7. I've had 2 cylinders, 3 cylinders, 4 cylinders, 6 cylinders, 8, and then diesels and everything in between. I love different stuff, 100%. Yep. But the problem is, I want to drive.
I know. Everyone wants reliability. I understand. Like I said, I totally get it. I'm bored of cars that shouldn't sound like Chevy small blocks sounding like Chevy small blocks.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Do you have a hot take you want to share? You don't have to. I have one. And I
Share
already
yours,
said it.
and I don't know that I have anything, but share yours. I'm interested.
Tupac's overrated.
I don't know if I agree with that one.
Do or don't.
I don't think I.
Nobody in this room agrees with me. I don't like Tupac. I don't think he's this big, great, grand thing, but that's me.
Everybody's open to their own opinion, especially when it comes to music.
Best rapper alive is Macklemore. So
Oh my god. Now that is a hot take.
that was a joke. That was a joke. Jeez,
It's pretty great.
my bad. Yeah, do you have one? Just curious.
My hot take. I mean, not really.
I got another easy one for you.
What do you got?
TE37's most overrated wheel on the planet.
Have you ever picked one up?
Yeah, they're light. I get it. Same thing as like an LS. I get why people like them, but like boring.
Yeah, they don't
Everyone-
have to be on everything.
Everyone has TE37s. There's some rep of a TE37. Right. It's enough TE37.
I would agree with that too. You know, some of the stuff that I've seen overseas, especially coming out of Europe, a lot of different wheels, a lot of different wheel styles, and I like that. I've always been a fan too of. God, I saw widened Steelies the other day it was something classic. And
Kind of cool.
I just went, that's cool because they never made that. You had to go out and either have them widened or purchase that, and that's your own thing, and that's cool, you know? And so, yeah, I could understand that.
It's same thing, like I said, as an LS. I understand why people like them. It's a classic. It's not a bad looking wheel. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, but it's just enough. It's enough.
Okay, yeah, I got a hot take. BRZ kind of sucks.
Oh,
For one major reason.
here.
That car got
It's a
robbed.
Subaru.
That car got robbed of the Subaru power plant, and it should have been 200 to 250 horsepower, similar to, say, SR20, something like that. You know, but it could have been so much more than it is. And every time I see one at the track and it's not boosted, it just seems like they're clutch kicking all day. And
You know what would be a cool motor for that car?
K-Series.
EcoBoost.
That's a good call as well.
EcoBoost, they're kind of cheap. You can
Yeah.
go buy an Escape for like not that much money, or buy a crashed one.
Talking about 2-liter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
little turbo on there.
Good motor.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think the hardest part with that would probably be like making it fit, and then transmission options are probably pretty limited.
Go with the motor out of my truck. Those are like $3-4 grand.
They're becoming very popular swaps from what I hear.
Yeah, the brand new Silverado 4-cylinder turbo.
Yep.
I keep hearing good things about them. So,
They make torque.
yeah,
Turk.
Torque.
hell yeah.
Good motor.
Back to the wheels. What's your favorite wheel?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you our favorite style?
I think it depends on the vehicle. It's
That
tough.
makes sense.
I don't know. I've refinished and I probably have like 10 or 12 BBS style 5s, which I used to love, and I'm kind of bored of them now. I think it's just because like I've had them for so long. They're a fine wheel, but I don't know. Pretty tough. Like I said, kind of
Yeah.
depends on the vehicle, because like some stuff like a style 5 looks good on my BMW, but if you took that same style wheel and put it on this G35, I don't think it would look that good on there. So it's subjective.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think an underrated wheel is the work Euro line. I like Euro lines a lot. They're kind of like basic, but I don't know. I kind of like them.
I really like the Pirelli Assassin. So,
That's pretty good.
The
I like
Assassin.
Yeah.
the Aurelia Assassin. They're an old 2000s like mini truck wheel. They're the 2-spoke S.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I love those wheels. I love.
They're
those wheels.
weird.
I have a
That's
set
a
of spinners
strange
here too
design.
that I want to put on something like the-
Spinners. I would love for spinners to make a comeback.
I have some here that I want to use on something. Maybe we golf cart. Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, that's a conversation
that.
for another day. My
I
bad.
like that.
What do we have for time, Brian?
1 hour and 51 minutes.
Holy crap,
Okay.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Goes quick.
dude!
So it's probably closer to like an hour 47, 48.
Okay.
Out here yapping,
But
yapping up a storm.
Damn.
good.
That's awesome. I was like, oh, this one's like going to be like an hour. Nope. But anyway, what's next? Or not what's next? What do you want to end with? Like, what do you got?
Dude, I'm not prepared for this.
What's
Go ahead.
so DOD's your driving one, like for your future. Actually, you know what? That's a dumb question. That's my bad.
That's
Do
all
some
right.
shout outs.
Do some shout outs?
Yeah, shout out. We're saying goodbye.
Okay. Let's wrap it up then. Shout out Matt Fabulous Matt.
Love Matt.
For he's done a shitload of work on my car, and I've beaten the hell out of it, and it's held up fine. And he's been doing a lot of like side fabrication, etc. stuff. He's taking it a lot more seriously than he has in the past. So proud of him. He's doing good stuff. If you need some stuff and you're local to the greater New Hampshire area, hit that boy up. Shout out Limiter and Limiter Podcast. Thanks
you.
for having me on.
Thank
for
you.
coming.
It's been
We
fun. It's
appreciate
been a long time since I've done anything podcast related, so it's nice. It's fun to just sit down and chit chat with the homies.
It is. I love it.
And shout out everyone who called me handsome earlier. That was very nice of you. I needed that gas up today.
You're gonna go home with a huge head. We were talking
No,
about how
no.
big. No,
I-
your head's never gonna be as big as Mike Behebeeb's.
Nah, that's I think one thing that'll be like my closing statement is I try to as much as I can. Like everyone will develop a little bit of an ego, no matter what you do. Like it happens sometimes, but I've always tried my best to leave my ego as far to the door as I can. Just because it kind of sucks talking to people that like have an ego and are cocky and are annoying and think they're the shit. It's not fun. I think everyone should do a little bit more of self-ego checks. So if you're feeling like you got a big old chip on your shoulder, take it off, relax, take a breath, have a hot dog, go sit in a hot tub, chill out.
Damn, those all sound like great
Yo.
options. That's why I love you, Devin. You're always to the point. I love your internet. Like when people talk shit on the internet about other people, you're like, name them. Like,
Oh,
that's what I love
yeah,
about
Call
you.
them out.
I love that. I love doing that. It's my favorite thing. I hate when people do that. What's that called? Yeah, when people like
Yeah.
will like make a whole elaborate thing about someone very specific and they just won't name drop them. Do it.
Yeah, just-
do it.
Yeah.
Don't be a
If you're gonna go through that whole effort,
don't be a
you're gonna-
pussy.
Yeah.
Do it. Man up.
Hit 'em.
You're doing it anyway.
Hit 'em.
Yeah, hit them. Who cares?
Let's go.
That's what I love about
Get
you.
charged with assault. Who cares?
Oh man. But yeah, no, thank you for coming on. Ryan, what do you got?
Devon, where can people find you? Where can they find Spiral? Give us your information if you would.
All the Spiral stuff I believe is some people, there's a band that hasn't been relevant in a long time that has Spiral Drift without a period on Instagram, and I messaged them and I was like, hey, can I have it? And they never got back to me. So I think Instagram is Spiral period Drift, YouTube is Spiral Drift, Facebook also Spiral Drift. I think that's all the outlets that I currently use. Or if you Google Spiral Drift, something might show up. Those are the spots.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Good. Any last remarks?
I want to hear what you got because I'm going to close out.
You know, I just like what you had to say, man. That's a good point. And more people in this world, you got to remember, I think you get caught up in the day to day and mine's better than yours and whatever. And realize at the end of the day that like, you're really no better than anybody else for any reason. So I really love that. And that's a good point. So that is pretty much my takeaway too. Just be humble and do your best because everybody else is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
There's a phrase that my dad used to tell me when I was growing up, and I think it has kind of ruined my subconscious, and not a bad way, but growing up, he always used to say, no matter how hard you're working or no matter what you're doing, someone wants what you have more than you, and someone will work harder and do better than you. And it's a good mentality to have because it keeps you humble. It keeps you, trying to be better every day. And a lot of people just don't do that. So, thank you.
Yeah. No? Good words.
Love it.
What do you got?
I'm just going to thank everybody. Shout out Spiral.
Thanks.
Spiral. Shout out Swivel Mount, ISC, Lucier Motorworks, Brassard, Brian, Ryan. We could go on for days. Lift Tech. They've all been supporting us. They've all been helping us. We got some pretty cool projects coming out. We're not going to talk about them yet. You might see them this weekend starting. But thank you. We got some new gloves on the website. Check them out. We got welding gloves for light welding now. Yeah, just thank you. It's been awesome. Thank you, Devon.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Yes.
Thank you, Brian.
Support media, please.
Yes.
Reach out, do prints, buy merch. These guys both have merch. Buy their shirts. Support, because they're going out, they're driving far away. Just do it.
They're standing in the same spot in the sun all day, getting
Yeah.
bitten by mosquitoes, trying not to move. I'm sure. I've never been there.
Also, stay hydrated. This is a shout out to Devon and Jerry's new business.
Yep.
I forgot what it's called.
Hydro Boys.
Hydro Boys. They're going to start walking around the tracks, hydrating people.
Yeah, we'll be out there pumping.
But no, seriously, thank you guys. This was fun. Next podcast, I'll release it now. It's the VAJJ podcast. It is Vern, Allie, Julie, and Jackie. It's going to be awesome. So stay tuned for that. And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye. See you later. Have a great night.
Adios.
Have a great day. Have a great morning.